ever have to face. Before the end of that date alone, over 40 would perish. May they never be forgot. Now we note the following brave souls of that fateful date. Lieutenant Commander Link Shaw, Chief of Security. Lieutenant Karen McNeil, Assistant Chief Medical Officer and Doctor. Lieutenant Jirix, Chief of Engineering. And Lieutenant Pavir Jolson, Science Officer.
Sorry, so are we just...
About to load you in, trying to change the page over.
Oh, I was just like, the silence, it's deafening. By the way, anybody who wanted to know why I do what I do, it's because long silences make me uncomfortable.
Noted.
It changed on your end, yeah?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, good. So our scene begins aboard the USS Sappho. The four of you are currently in the mess hall. The room is pretty packed. You guys have been out here for a little over a year exploring the deep space reaches of the Shackleton Expanse. And each of you have had your own issues to be dealing with. But largely, the journey has been, fairly standard, really. Not a whole lot of danger, haven't been shot at much. Frankly, it's been a milk run for the most part. But today, there's always another mess hall, another day at work, and the four of the senior officers in the mess hall. So if you have any role play or anything you wish to say to each other, feel free at this moment.
So, I says to the guy, wrecked him, damn near killed him!
Oh, come on.
Oh, I get it. It's because rectum is a homonym for the human word of the human equivalent lower digestive tract, correct?
Yeah. It's so much funnier when you explain the joke.
Very good.
I'm sorry, that joke wasn't funny to begin with. Anyway. Although she does slightly chuckle a little bit. She's just putting on a face. She did find it a little funny. So, Doctor, how have your duties been going?
Oh, quite busy, actually.
People tweaking their ankles and bumps and bruises, I assume?
Oh, just the usual. Been more knee-deep in research lately.
Well, at least you can get to your research. My research seems to be several light years away from us.
Space is an awful big place, Lieutenant.
Yeah, and unfortunately all the interesting things also aren't tactically relevant.
Look, if you want to see the nebula so badly, either find me a reason why it's tactically relevant, or put a request in with the captain.
I already did put it in a request to the captain. I just can't find anything that makes it tactically relevant. I mean, on the surface, it's just a small variance of the ambient temperature for no reason, but that in itself could lead to great discoveries. We just need a closer look. unfortunately, all the ranges is for these small permutations are several light years that away.
I don't know. I've been doing some research, and I've found these, like, a bunch of these rumors about this weird ancient space station shipyard.
Out
By
here?
all accounts, it should be destroyed, and with how old it is, I wouldn't doubt that it is, but all these reports just seem to point that it's either drunk musings or somebody's using it as some kind of operating base out here. But
Old technology can be quite resolute in a vacuum. Even without a deflector, it can maintain its structural integrity for centuries, if not more, in a vacuum.
yes, that's
But
true,
if it wasn't,
actually.
but if it was unpowered, it would be damn hard to find. But if you're saying the station's still being used, then we should be able to pick it up, even on long range. Artificial structures tend to give out EM and subspace signals that any advanced civilization would be able to pick up.
I mean, even a backup generator can stay operational for a century or more and still give off a slight signal.
That's also true, but
Depending on the type of generator, or it could last even longer, and the strength of the signal.
all of this is very true. But
Right, yeah, enough talking shop. I'm gonna go replicate some Genobulan sausage. Anybody want anything?
Suddenly, everything stops. And all the sound around you just cuts out, and the whole ship just shudders.
What the hell?
Lieutenant Commander Jal to the bridge.
All hands, abandon ship. All hands, abandon ship. This is an automated message. All hands, abandon ship. The whole
Where's the
room's just
bridge?
chaos. People start getting up and moving around.
We're a few decks away. Do as the computer says. All of you get to a escape pod. That's an order.
My children are still in their quarters. I have to. No, I can't just go.
I will get them.
Not
I
without me.
Go, people.
promise. Fine. Come with me. And we go and get his family. All of them.
I will ask for whoever's leading the charge on this one to do a fitness plus con or fitness security.
I can do that. Also, while we're doing this, I am also keeping an eye out for, the captain and XO to make sure they get off the ship if they don't. You know what I'm saying? Doing my security officer things.
Yep.
What's the
And I'll
difficulty?
set difficulty 0.
Okay. Composure for a focus? No?
I'll give you that.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna give you a threat for a third dice just because we need momentum for the other people. And I get a reroll if I get anything, so anyway, moving on. Yep, there we go. 3 successes.
You quickly make your way to the quarters. People are still moving around. The group of you are making a nice big group, so it's very hard for anyone to really push into or knock you around. So you're basically pushing against the current a little bit, and you're able to get to the lieutenant's quarters.
Alright.
All hands, abandon ship. Repeat. All hands abandon ship. Hull breaches on decks 7, decks 10, decks 23. All hands abandon.
That's a deck below us, Lieutenant. We better hurry.
Right. Children, come quickly. We have to get off the ship right now.
Where's Mom? Where is she?
She's probably in
kind
the
of
escape pod. She'll be fine.
I'm gonna have you roll command presence difficulties.
Be the dad.
Does a negotiation focus apply?
If you're
With your
giving them
kid.
candy.
Okay, well, I'm not doing that, so we'll go ahead and just roll that then.
It didn't roll your command. When it says null discipline, it means
That's
you
weird.
didn't click your command.
That's weird. I had it highlighted me. What?
Eh.
Sorry, I'm having
That
trouble
works.
with this dice roller. I'll get it. But yeah, that works. Same result.
Oops.
Alrighty.
But yes, you are able to get your kids in order. They're following your lead on this. They seem scared, but they are listening to you.
Alright. Lieutenant, you get them to an escape pod. I'm gonna go try and see about your wife.
Right. Go along quickly. Come on, kid. Come on, everyone. Hurry.
Alright, and in the commotion, I'm going to pray to God. She's a lieutenant, right? Or what is...
Petty Officer 2.
Okay. Computer, give me the location of Petty Officer Gearix.
Petty Officer Gearix is on deck 4.
Okay, and I hit my comm badge. Petty Officer Gearix, get to an escape pod immediately. Your family's already off the ship.
On my way. I'm just in the. Just give me a sec.
You don't have a second, Petty Officer. Move!
You do not hear a response.
Son of a... And I'm going to attempt to get as close to deck 4 as I can. And if I start hearing a countdown clock, I'm sorry, Gearix, I'm gonna have to jump into an escape pod. If I start hearing a countdown clock.
I mean, if you want to lose our medical support character, go right ahead.
I mean, I'm trying.
To lose them? Got it. So that's going to be a... I'm
That's
kidding.
not what I want.
That will be a... I will ask for a con plus...
Oh, control?
Yeah, I'll go... con reason. You're figuring out where she is.
Oh, damn. I guess this time I'll take a momentum. I won't use a focus because I don't have any. Take a momentum for a third dice. And yeah, hope for the best. I don't remember you telling me what the difficulty was.
Difficulty 1, so you get 1 momentum there.
Alright.
You're able to find her. While you're doing that, Jolson, what are you up to?
I'm leading the people that was in the mess hall to the nearest escape pod and just us focusing on getting everyone off the ship. I want to figure out what's happening, but lives are more important than my curiosity right now.
Very good. Gearix, you are heading where?
Trying to get all the kids into an escape pod.
Prax, what are you... sorry, not Prax. Doctor, what are you up to?
I'm making sure everyone's in escape pod.
Alright, so the other one's still running around the ship. Not at the escape pod right now is you. But all of you are heading there. Given how fast you all responded, you find that there is a countdown of about a minute. You do have enough time to grab, with your momentum, grab gear before you jump in an escape pod. You can also add to threat as well to grab stuff before you leave.
Yeah. After I guess I deal with Petty Officer Garrix, I will grab my great-grandfather's engineering kit and my phaser, and yeah.
I want to grab Type 1 phaser and some sort of subspace beacon, and if I can grab a portable one of those.
Beacon, I'm going to take a momentum from you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely grabbing an engineering kit. And a tricorder.
Oh, I just assumed I had my tricorder on me.
Oh. No, yeah, is tricorder part of standard equipment?
Yeah, phaser and tricorder are part of standard equipment.
Okay, but definitely something that could, like, scream into subspace would definitely be nice.
No.
Yeah, engineering kit, and like if there's like not a survival pack is set as standard in an escape pod, I would probably grab one of those too if I could.
I'll give you that. You do a quick check as everyone's starting to load into the escape pod. You take a quick look and make sure that it is loaded, and it has various survival supplies in there, in the event of a crash or a planet fall, I should say.
Works for me.
Before I step into the pod, I stop my comm badge and ask the computer, how many crew members are left aboard.
Stand by, stand by, stand by. Evacuate the ship. Stand by, please. It seems unresponsive as various explosions keep going off.
Okay, that's my answer. I am out of here. Make sure, or there's no one like running down the hallways, or something, and then strap in and jettison.
Yeah, I'm manhandling the petty officer to get her into a escape pod if I have to.
When you get hold of her and you're actually able to get her into, and you're starting to get into escape pod, you're finally away from the crowd. You're able to get a clean look at her. It looks like she has a nasty looking wound on her head, and she seems kind of dazed and confused.
All right.
Other crewmen kind of look around. They're all busy fitting, like putting in their restraints. No one's really looking in your direction right now.
Yeah, I just shout out, "Get to an escape pod, everyone!" And I drag her into one, and all the time reassuring her, "I'll get you patched up, I'll get you patched up, just come on." And yeah. I haul her into an escape pod with myself.
So everyone launches, I assume? No one heads back into the ship for...
Nope.
The doctor would grab a emergency medical kit, as well as any medical supplies that might be useful.
I'll give that to you without momentum. You'll have a extra medical kit as being a medical staffer.
And then as probably a Type 1 phaser.
I'm just this is me assuming, and I probably shouldn't have done this. Since she is medical staff, I was assumed she was helping with wounded, so I grabbed her kit that was laying on the ground when I grabbed her.
You notice that the kit seems like it was half open and some of the innards are spilled out. Like she must have been in the middle of something. It was interrupted.
That's fine, as long as I have bandages and a hypo spray. That's really all I need at the moment.
Yeah.
As soon as my pods clear the ship, I want to go to whatever thing resembling sensors we have, and I want to start looking at what the hell's going on, what happened to our ship, and what's happened, and what is causing that happening.
Give me reason science, please.
And no focus.
That's not bad.
Gain of no momentum. However, with the sensor scans, the escape pod sensor system is very rudimentary. It's basically no help at all. But you're able to piece together from it. It looks like parts of the ship are gone. They're just not there anymore. Like deck 1 is just vanished as if it was never built. So deck 2 is basically has a force field over the top of it, exposing it to space. There's various radiation spikes throughout the ship, and as the shuttle start pulling away, the Intrepid class starship just starts warping and bending in space until it just pops out of existence.
Any other vessels in the area?
No other contacts at this time.
Okay, that looks like probably some sort of warp field old malfunction, or I kind of
anomaly or
something. I don't know.
Subspace rupture, time dilation field. Sorry.
Yeah, lots of little things, but I want to establish contact and try to reestablish a chain of command, see who's out there and who's the highest ranking.
Each of you are basically in your own escape pod. You guys got kind of a little scattered a bit, but you're able to communicate with your pods. Each pod contains about 12 people, and you notice that a lot of the pods have gone out of control. Your pods seem to be in control. The rest of the pods seem to be tumbling toward a nearby Class L planet.
Class L. That's not good.
Commander Fleur, Commander Jal, did Fleur get to an escape pod, please?
Yes, Lieutenant, I have her. She's a little banged up.
Oh, thank goodness.
Although, if we can find a place to set down, I could really use the doc's help, unless she can talk me through this, because she needs to be bandaged, and I'm not exactly qualified. I think she took a strut to the head, but she is alive.
Was the ship traveling at warp when we went to red alert?
Last you remember, yes.
And our closest planet is a Class L planet, and some of the pods are falling towards it.
Correct. There are other planets as well in this star system, but they're vacuum or gas giants. By sheer chance, they're tumbling towards something that actually has an atmosphere.
That resembles breathing. Not for long, but...
It's a poison atmosphere, but yes. It is an atmosphere.
Do our pods have EVA suits? It's for the occupants?
Enough for all occupants.
Okay. So settling down there's an option.
For 24 hours, possibly. But it is an option. One we might need to consider.
Okay. Do I resume contact? Act with the XO or captain?
I've been trying. Give me a sec. Let me try again. Lieutenant Commander Jal to the captain. Lieutenant Commander Jal to the commander. I'm not getting any response from them.
Well, from whatever I'm reading through these craptastic sensors, there was some sort of, I'm assuming phase A's anomaly that hit us, and it just rendered parts of the ship not there anymore. I'm sure there's a more scientific way you could say that. Yeah, but
you're doing good, Lieutenant. You're doing good, says one of the random crewmen.
Yeah, Lieutenant, the Jal will be like, no, Lieutenant, I think you used the proper term. They are no longer there. That's true.
Well, we can't do anything floating in space if the bulk of the pods are settling down on that planet. I mean, 24 hours isn't a lot of time, but we might be able to jury-rig something from the pods together to sustain something of an atmosphere for a bit longer.
I actually had an idea about that. Do any
What-
of you have access to your thrusters on these things? Maybe we can guide them down to the planet.
If that's an order, or I'll start guiding down.
Don't expect it to be an easy landing.
It never is.
I have several damaged pods close by to us. They're not going to be able to make the landing without some help. Do these things have tractor beams or grappling hooks or tow hooks?
I was thinking they may have, like, if they have a deflector, you could probably rig a tractor beam. But that would involve every escape pod having a little deflector.
It has to have a rudimentary deflector to save it from like space debris, like specks of rocks, but it's not terribly strong.
Yeah, but 2 or 3 of them might be.
Yeah, if you have more than one escape pod, it could help stabilize a third.
Can I check these escape pods to see if they're air viable for an atmospheric landing? Make sure that their hull's not compromised.
I'll give you that one. Their hull's compromised. They have like minutes at most.
Do we have transporters on these rust buckets?
No. Not these. They're escape pods, dude.
How many damaged ones do we have?
Sensors seem to detect 3. There's debris of others, but there's no saving those ones.
Okay, maybe we slave all our deflectors together. We can make some kind of a tractor beam. So Gearix is just going to open up an EPS conduit, start tinkering things to see if he can get it at least a start on that.
Jaw, not wanting to lose any more crew, will probably start doing the exact same thing. Start looking for EPS things.
Walk me through it, Lieutenant. I'll do it. In the meantime, I want to do a quick scan of subspace to see if I detect any subspace anomalies that could account for our ship suddenly phasing out of existence.
I'm willing to pull a momentum from you if you like, or you can roll for it at difficulty 3.
Okay, and can I use my focus in warp field mechanics?
You certainly can.
Okay, focus, reason science.
Got it in 1.
Oh no, you got it already, the first one. Or did it just double roll?
It just double rolled.
Yeah. You got it. Difficulty 3, yep.
You would almost think that the ship was transported, but not perfectly. I mean, on a large scale, that's never been done before. No one transports things that big, but that's what the sensors are telling you.
Interesting. But no time for that now. I guess I'm jury rigging the EPS conduit now for our jury rig tractor beam.
So how are we gonna how do we want to try resolving that? What would the role for that be?
I'm going to say that I need a character sheet that I can reference. Should have printed one out. So I'm going to resolve that as a daring engineering task. One person will lead it. Everyone else who's trying to get their pods to help out, you can roll to assist.
All right, so just for transparency's sake, I'm rolling a 13 in this, so.
Yeah, my daring isn't great, so that's gonna be.
I'm rolling a 12.
Okay, well, let's see. I'm also. I got a 13 here, so I'll go ahead. So I'll go ahead and lead on that because would a focus in emergency repairs or energy field remodulation or EPS power systems apply?
EPS.
I give you modulation.
Oh, that works too.
And would someone mind if I spent one of our fleeting momentum here?
Nope,
Do
go
it.
ahead.
I'm going to spend 2 threat to increase complication to 2.
You would.
Well, hey, that's 3 successes there.
Oh, come on. I didn't get it. Woot.
So you bank 3 momentum off that.
Yep. Yep.
Eventually, the shuttles are shuttles. The pods are gathered together, and you're able to imperfectly. I mean, these weren't designed exactly for this, but you are able to get them to couch the remaining pods. Now you still have the issue of the people still exposed to the openness of space. You have control of them; they're not tumbling around. But thank you very much, Doctor, for keeping track of momentum because I am not doing it well. But yes, you have control of them. I'm willing to let you spend one of those 2 of those momentum to have the deflector just cover up the hole as well as a sort of makeshift force field.
I would say that would be momentum well spent.
Yes, 2 momentum.
With a bit of more tinkering, you're able to you're able to bend the deflector fields a bit together so it covers the hole. Now you're one lump of escape pods kind of slowly tumbling in space.
We're Suliban.
Can we contact the anyone on board to see if there's any injuries or anything?
If there are injuries, all we can do is talk through it.
Speaking of which, I have a patch job to do. So, Doctor, if you would please talk me through this.
What kind of wound are we looking at?
It looks, from what I've seen in combat situations, it looks like a concussion, and maybe there's a gash on her head. I think she took one of the struts to her head. I'm sure she's lucky to have not been pinned under it.
Is she currently conscious?
Yeah, and I go over to her. Petty officer, can you hear me? I'm getting noises, so I think she registers I'm here.
What do you have in medical supplies on board your escape pod?
In the chaos, I was able to grab a hypo spray and some bandages.
Well, first you need to make sure that the wound is not currently bleeding out anymore. Make sure you're applying ample pressure.
Yeah. And she does all of this.
I am going to have the doctor will assist in this role. Unfortunately, the good lieutenant commander is going to have to roll the main on this.
That's why
this is
resist me.
that will be a medicine control. You are taking your time with this. Complication is, I'm gonna put it to task of 2, difficulty of 2, I should say. You have some tools. You're not in a sick bay. She's not too hurt, so I'll just set it to 2 for now. So diff 2, complication 2.
Okay, I'm spending a momentum for an extra dice. Because I may need this. Composure as a focus. Since I've never done this, I haven't done this like this in a while.
I'm going to wait.
My hand steady? No? Okay. I try. Oh, come on. Roll properly. Come on.
Would emergency medicine count in this case?
Yes. There's
Momentum
one
back.
woman.
Yay.
She seemed to be suffering some sort of severe concussion. But with the tools and with the directions, you're able to stabilize her. She probably doesn't want to be playing rugby anytime soon, but she's okay.
All right. And all you hear over the comms is, "Come on, stay awake. You got to stay awake with me. Come on."
Is she all right? Will she be okay?
She's fine, Lieutenant. She just has a concussion. Nothing worse than getting tackled in a sports game. She'll be fine.
Thank you, Commander. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nothing like Parisi squares will wake you up in the morning.
Well, she won't be targ wrestling anytime soon, that's for sure. Yeah. So after I do that, I have no idea what to do other than land on that planet. Oh, Lieutenant, do you have some way to send out a distress beacon or something on you, Lieutenant Jolson?
I do. I grabbed a subspace ace beacon and just in case. Do you want me to set up now, or do you want to wait till we actually land this amalgamation?
If you can get a mayday to, I assume Narendra's nearby.
It's basically the only outpost out here.
Yeah, get a mayday to Narendra if you can, as we're setting down.
Aye, Commander.
All right, and then I guess we all try to land.
Who's gonna? Whoever's leading the landing, it's going to be a. Are you going to try to give each other room, or are you trying to land as a group? Like trying to land very close to each other? You're trying to give each other ample room.
I assume we don't want to be more than like 50 meters from each landing point.
Problem is, the further you spread out, the rescued pods you're pulling along won't be caught in your net of deflectors.
Okay, fair enough. I was thinking like that would be like the safest where we could still keep them together, but okay.
Oh,
if
meters.
it's closer, then it's closer. Yeah.
I thought you said miles. I was like, what are you talking?
No,
No,
it's
not
like
that
100
far.
feet. It's like 100 feet.
Yeah, no, yeah, 50 meters or so is fine. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, I will make it the one who's taking lead on the landing, on the group landing, as it were. It'll be Control Con. Given the weird conditions you're in and the planet's atmosphere not being the nicest in the world, I'm going to increase complication to 3. And in addition, I'm going to spend 2 more of my threat for an unknown threat below.
That's a 15 for me to attempt. You want me to try that?
Yes, please. Because I'm rolling an 11. I'm good at 3 things. Flying is not one of them.
Okay, I'm going to spend a momentum for extra die. And I'm sorry, can you just repeat the complication range?
Complication 3, difficulty 2.
Okay, we'll meet the difficulty.
And scene change, your momentum goes down.
Yay.
By 1.
Meaning 0. We don't have any doctor. He used 1 and then the scene changed.
As you start bringing down your pods, everything starts shuddering like crazy because now you're going from space to actual like atmosphere and turbulence, and you it takes a bit of finagling, the wind occasionally turning and tumbling the lot of you, which thankfully your escape pods have little gravity dampeners in them, so you're not being banged into the walls even with the restraints on.
Hooray, inertial dampeners.
So eventually you're able to come down onto the surface. On a glance out the window, this is not Class L, it's a Class M. The sensors are reading stuff like that's breathable atmosphere. It's cold, super cold, but it's breathable atmosphere. You're just surrounded by lots of snow and ice. You can also detect that that a lot of the pods are scattered in the area. They all try to land in a open plain between a few mountains. So they didn't go crashing into a mountainside and then tumbling. They landed roughly in various spots in this area. Like they were all trying to stay together.
Yeah, what about the pods that we saw earlier? Are we near their landing sites?
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Including our pods, we all tried to land in the same spot, is what he was trying to say.
Yeah, your landing was especially hard because you were carrying a load and you're kind of trying not to drop the pods that can't take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bloody Endurian paradise.
Oh yeah. Max would have loved it here. Ugh, I can't stand it.
We probably should get started on fabricating a shelter.
I'll get started on that beacon.
Doctor, if you could please take a look at the petty officer, make sure I did the stitching right and such.
Right, we need to also break out in teams to analyze the current status of everyone's well-being, like a head count of all injuries.
Alright, our comm badges work, right?
You tap at it, you get it's kind of crackly. There's a bit of interference, but people start calling back, responding that.
Okay. Ensign Farrells, if you can hear me, if you are able to, will you please start making the rounds and offering triage?
Aye, sir. Just have to get ourselves turned around. I'll be ready.
Thank you. Have Zeldin also. I don't know how much first aid he knows, but we need all hands on deck right now.
Got it. On it.
Let's see, who else do we have that I would call? Let's see. Yeah, we'll just say I called everybody and have everybody checking on everybody else.
I will call for command presence, difficulty 1.
Okie dokie. Diplomacy or composure?
Neither in this case.
Okay. Interrogation?
No.
You will tell me how many of you survived, or else.
Exactly. I'm going to give you a threat for a dice. Now I needed to get back to that page, and that's 3, and come on. Sorry guys, my computer is awful. Yep. And I'm gonna re-roll that 0. And just take that 1. Since it double rolled anyway.
Yep. So that banks you 2 momentum.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to get your people organized, and everyone starts putting on cold weather outfits. They start taking out equipment, checking on how many they have. Some people seem, by the time that they landed, they seemed unresponsive. Other shuttles had medical emergencies like you had, but they couldn't get to the doctor in time, or the injuries were so severe there wasn't a whole lot that could be done. And in the pods that you guys were able to rescue, everyone in there surprisingly is fine. They seem to, that jumping in when you did and giving them that little bubble gave them time to be not exposed to the emptiness of space. As for the subspace beacon, I will ask you to roll me a roll known as engineering plus reason. I'll give you difficulty 5, sadly. Something is, and before you even attempt it, you start turning it on, and you know it's hard. You know something's off. This should just work, and it's not.
Oh boy.
Is it an engineering check? Is that what you're doing? Or what?
I can help if so.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, so can I.
Yeah, can I get some assistance on this?
You definitely can.
Engineering's not my strong suit.
Okay, do you want me to be the primary actor, primary person on that then?
Go for it.
No change to complication range?
Thankfully,
Nope.
no.
Okay, I'm going to spend momentum, so get taken to 3. And would EPS power systems or emergency repairs apply?
Emergency repairs.
And I guess I'm assisting.
Any number of people can assist.
I'll assist as well.
That's 4. Damn it.
Do we want to
Wait,
spend our last...
do you have cautious engineering? Garrix?
I do not.
Well,
I do have collaboration though. If we spend our last momentum, one of you could use my
I
engineering
do
score.
too. I do too, actually. Yep. That'll work, I guess. Would that make... I don't know if that would make any roll of ours better. Oh, it'd make mine better. It'd make mine a 2. And that would give us 5.
Cool.
If I get your focus, yeah.
Okay, so let's spend the last momentum for that with GM's approval.
Feel free.
Yep. So that makes it 5, so we did make it. Unless you want me to re-roll, which I can.
2/3 is being spent for an unknown threat.
Yep. Okie dokie then.
Well, now that we're on the planet, I want to take my tricorder out and scan for or any unusualness as about this environment we should be made aware of.
Give me reason science, difficulty. We'll say 2, complication.
So difficulty 2, complication 2.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there's something interfering with my scans here.
I'll suck up that threat, thank you. It appears that you have, after head count, it takes a long time for everyone else to get organized. It appears there are about 130 people alive. 10 dead, the rest unaccounted for.
Yeah, and after everything has started to settle a little bit, Shaw makes a list of the confirmed dead and the missing.
There are also a reported 10 injured currently. The injured, they're so far they have them inside the pods, but that's it. They need medical aid to do any to get them back on their feet. They knew enough to not bring them outside in the open air. Like, let's leave them in the pods, and we'll do what we can. No, we can't do anything. Report them as injured.
Okay. So I assume that would be a task for the doctor to start fixing them up. If she can. Doctor, can you triage some of these people? Just in case, you know, we may need them, if they can be saved.
Of course. But I do recommend we find some shelter. These pods are not going to last long as survival units.
No, tricorders are damn near useless down here, unless you got something creative.
Actually, I may. But I may need Garrix's help with it in a little bit.
I'm at your disposal, Commander.
Well, that subspace beacon had issue working, and it should have worked instantaneously. But what if we hooked the tricorder into a sequenced relay of the escape pods for maybe a better sensor scan?
Could
The
boost the
sensors-
signal.
Yeah, the sensors in the escape pod aren't that great to begin with, but if we chain them together into a tricorder, we may get something.
I'll get started right away.
And as far
fair-
as... Go
Fair
ahead.
warning with this plan. If you do this, the subspace beacon won't be a distress beacon. It'll be it would be, you'd have to,
Yeah.
you're basically changing its purpose to be something else. You could, in theory, change it back, but you're taking it off of distress duty.
Okay.
Also,
Well-
it doesn't do us much good if we freeze to death overnight. So,
Fair point.
is there any way we could like sort of scrap one or more of the damaged pods, or just try to make a shelter instead?
That was going to be my second idea, was going to be some kind of like tarp and salvaged pieces, like hut that we could all stay in for the time being.
There's also snow caving, however effective that is. What's the ambient temperature right now?
Biting cold. You feel it on your face. It's like little shards of, even with the protective gear on, you can feel it digging into your... To know more than that, it's a medicine reason test.
Although the commander will tell you that it feels like her whiskers are about to fall off.
Alright, I guess I'll try a medicine reason. Just to see how long we have before we absolutely need shelter.
I'll put that at difficulty 0.
Well, that went well.
Hey, you made it.
No complication.
Yeah.
You get the feeling that this is dangerously cold from your training back in the academy. You don't want to be out. You want to be in shelter before night falls. If people are still outside moving around, you have a frostbite risk.
Are there any hills or mountain ranges as nearby? Any terrain features that we could huddle in?
You're in the light white area in the middle there. In the darker blue areas to either side, there are sloping mountains ice mountains you could probably dig into.
Well, we can head to those mountains and use our phasers to dig out some shelters, or if push comes to shove.
Yeah.
It might be best just trying to put together a shelter from what we have and stay in one place. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can wire up an EPS conduit to make a makeshift space.
And moving some of these injured really isn't an option.
I will point out as well, because it's something all of you would know from Academy days, emergency escape pods, if you have enough time, you can pull them apart and reuse them as prefab walls and stuff. They're designed for that purpose. The problem is that you don't have, it takes a long time to build them.
Well, I suggest we
Not
get
with-
on it.
Now with 4 engineers, I don't think it would. 3 engineers. 3 engineers.
I want to. I kind of want to see if the scans I took from the shuttle, when the ship was being phased out, if that has any relation to our current tricorder and sensor jammings. I'm wondering if those two phenomena are linked.
You need more information to build on that hypothesis. You're not sure. You need a new scan. You need another scan from a different device or extended scans to start extrapolating. Right now, your best guess is indeed your best.
Okay, well, let's focus on getting shelters then.
All right. I guess while the doctor's treating, people are gonna start taking apart escape pods.
Alright, guess I should be taking the charge on that.
What rolls would you like me to make for the triage?
Are you're treating them inside the pod?
Yes.
Okay. That would be I would say daring medicine test, difficulty 2, complication 2.
Emergency medicine for a focus.
I'll give it to you.
And I'm giving you 1 threat for an extra dice.
Oh god, there are 2 of us on this ship. 2
I'm
threat
rerolling at
generators.
0.
For the same reason.
Yeah, I also have bold science, so we're really threatening.
God.
So, as the doctor's doing that, the rest of you are trying to build yourself shelters quickly. I'm going to, since you're doing it especially quickly, normal procedure is to build these carefully, but as you guys have discovered, you can take your time. The problem is if you do that, you'll be working through the night exposed to frostbite. If you're trying to get it done before nightfall, you're going to have to rush it a bit. So are you going to rush it or take your time?
Given it needs to be done before nightfall, do we know any... can we tell if nightfall is imminent? Like, do we know anything about the planet's rotation?
You can tell that... I'll give it to you this way. If you build it... When you build it, it's going to be with a rush. It's daring engineering, complication 3, difficulty 3. I'm going to write that out because I will forget. There we go. So that's roughly, the complication is that range of, you know that you might be able to create an advantage to give yourself an exact time if you study it with reason plus science or reason plus security. You might be able to give yourself, well, how much do we need to rush? Or are you just gonna, like you're actually calculating the actual spin of the planet as opposed to just eyeballing the sun and going, it's gonna be about a few hours. So it's in theory, if you are going to try to create advantage, it would be a difficulty 2, complication 1, either reason science or reason security.
I guess that's one of my rolls. I'll scan the planet's rotation. Reason science. Complication 1.
Yep. Okay, so you've spent some time scanning. You have a good idea of how much time you have. So basically, with that advantage, you can either take your time and reduce the difficulty by 2. I'm full of by 1. Or if you rush it, you can choose either to reduce the complication range or the difficulty range. Because basically, you're timing out. We have about this long exactly. By the second, I know that's when frostbite's going to kick us. Even if you take your time, you're like, okay, brace yourselves. It's going to get cold, you know.
I'm partial to taking my time just because my daring sucks. Although I don't know how frostbite. I mean, the doctor can treat frostbite, right?
I mean, it's Star Trek. I assume so.
Sure, as long as you have shelter, you can treat frostbite.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say we take our time on this just because my daring is not good.
Oh, well, you know.
Okay, so we can reduce the difficulty to 2, right?
You can bring it down to 2, yeah, because you'll have knowledge of when the cold's coming.
Okay, well we're gonna take our time then, and I'm gonna spend a momentum for a 3rd die.
And I will roll the assist. And it's controls engineering.
Oh, wow.
Oh, mother. That's not. Oh my. Wow. Ugh.
Okay.
So
What's
how
the
much
roll?
do we have now?
Difficulty 3. Great. Great.
No, it's going to do 2 because we created an advantage.
So we just need 1 more.
Nope.
Okay, ignore that complication you rolled because of my parental figure talent.
Oh, okay, cool.
Does it ignore the threat, or does he re-roll?
No, it just ignores the complication.
Oh, very good.
Oh, well, neat.
Yeah. Was it just Gurix and Jal that were building the shelter?
I mean, and once I see they start falling behind, could I help?
You can. Unfortunately, the doctor cannot because they're in the middle of triage right now.
Okay, so that is control engineering. And can I use my focus of lead by example to kind of rally the team around me?
Unfortunately, no, you're not. Because you're not the main guy.
I'm not the main guy. Okay.
Good thought, though.
Nope, we're screwed.
And just because I'm trying to be nice today, Doctor, you can try to help, but because you'd be scrambling out there at the last second trying to help, it would be a complication of 3 for you. Because you're dropping everything and trying. You don't know what they're all doing, but you're trying to at least get that one. I don't know if you want to take that risk. Because right now, you're safe inside the shelter, they're not.
Yeah, no, keep working on the patients. If I have to, I'll endure the frostbite and try and put it up myself the rest of the way.
Yeah, because if we lose the doctor, we lose our ability to reverse that frostbite.
Exactly. And if I lose my tail or something, I'll be sad, but it's better than losing more crew. I mean, unless the doctor wanted to make that roll. In which which case I'm not going to take that from her.
Rolling a 12.
Oh, I'm rolling a 13. But I failed miserably, so... yeah.
Gonna stay inside, Doctor?
Is it peril? Like, life or death?
I mean, it's losing a limb, possibly, or just getting frostbite on a limb, possibly. Or body parts, but... as long as we can get it around the injured, it shouldn't be that
I mean,
bad for
is
you
it
guys.
worthwhile? Is it worthwhile for me to spend my determination on this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I do have a value crew's family, which I'm guessing would apply here. I also have a value work with what you have. I think either one would apply.
I agree.
Okay, I'm gonna re-roll that.
You can re-roll the zeros.
I think you're supposed to. Okay. Oh yeah. So just roll the two of those. Well, that's much better.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
And just to give you an idea how much is coming your way, that's how much damage you just.
Hooray!
As you can,
All of
as
us.
as you guys get the shelter up, you get the walls in, you get inside, you're aching all over, and you can feel you can hear crackling of frost building up as the night sets in, and you can hear bits of the metal starting to warp and twist just from how intensely cold it got. But you have built shelter, you're able to last the night.
We should probably set up watches.
Yes. Yes, we should. I would suggest three watches. Well, probably 4. And have a security officer on every one of them. 1 security officer, 1 non-injured officer. I mean...
if we have the manpower to spare, I mean, we don't know when help's coming.
That's true, but we also gotta make sure that we're alive when they get here.
Commander, these makeshift shelters are not going to last forever. When day breaks, we should send out a search party to look for other shelter.
I agree.
I do too. Right now, I'm just trying to get us all through the night.
Of course, Commander.
I want to take a crack at my tricorder again and see if I can get any sort of reading of energy signatures or possibility of caves within walking distance.
I will give you reason science or reason security. I'll make the task 3.
Well, I got this for a reason. I'll give you a threat to buy another dice with bold science.
Well, that's one way to do it. Difficulty was 3.
So we have 6 momentum.
You're at your max momentum, just so you're aware. You're picking up something on your sensors, on your tricorder.
All right, show me that science.
I'm getting to you. Stop fighting me, roll 20.
Do the thing. Do the science.
Through the night, through the piercing cold, the snow seems to be making it hard to sense, but you make some adjustments on your tricorder. You were able to determine that this area up here, there's some sort of energy signature, very weak. Here, there seems to be what seem to be life forms that are within a cavern system. Hard to tell exactly, but
Humanoid?
doesn't seem to be humanoid.
Okay.
You're sensing like body heat, motion, that sort of thing. So it's obvious to you that it's a life form rather than or like a robot or something.
Okay.
At this location seems to be where a bit of one of the escape pods that had gone down and basically just pummeled into the ice. It basically bored a hole into the cavern structure. It's a lot more chaotic there, but it kind of made a place where there's basically no one else other than what you guys already did. And from your sensors, you're not seeing any life signs, but then again, you're not a doctor, but that's a lot of not moving people and a lot of metal.
Okay, I'm gonna point out the location of the life forms right here that are kind of close to our camp to our chief of security.
Huh.
With my studious, can I spend a momentum and find out more about this energy signature up here?
Actually, you can. You're the science officer.
I am the science officer.
You have a free.
Okay. I guess the most immediate question is what direction is the life forms heading? And do they have a particular direction? Are they just moseying around? Are they moving?
During parts of the night, you notice that they seem to go to gamify this a little bit. They seem to be moving to the adjacent hexes there, but they never venture very far. They'll go out a little bit for a few miles, and then they'll gather back up into the cap.
Okay. Hey, so they're not like prowling a territory that would run them into us.
Yeah, no, they're not leaving that area.
Okay. About that energy e-signature, what type of jewels are we talking, and is it gravimetric, quantum, or warp in nature?
Stand by. Does Studious give you another?
It gives you a free question.
Yeah, it gives me one free question.
Oh, chronoton.
Fascinating. That might explain what happened to our ship if it was slowly phased out of our time frame into another time frame.
Could it also be some form of stasis, perhaps?
What type of energy levels are we talking here? Would the energy levels be enough to, phase a ship out of time, or is this like a battery, a D-cell battery I'm picking up?
Think more residual. It's like seeing the radiation of a blast, and it's the lingering effects. Something that emits or generates chronotons occurred there, and it's getting weaker. Like, you barely noticed it when you were doing your sensors. Then again, that could be a trick of the weather. You would need a more in-depth scan.
Okay, can I now spend a momentum and do a decay rate a analysis and see.
Total. So sorry, I cut you off there. The question you're asking is,
Decay A rate. I don't know the initial amount, but could I theorize how long ago this chronoton blast has happened?
you would estimate somewhere between a year to 2 years. More than that, the planet would act weird. Like parts of the planet would start phasing in and out and stuff. But given that you're only seeing decay now, and it seems to be localized to that area, you would guess 1 to 2 years. It might be more, but that's
so
very
we're not
improbable.
like talking. So it didn't occur simultaneously to our crash.
No, not at all.
Okay, well that's as interesting a phenomenon. Lieutenant Commander. Tomorrow morning, when the sun comes up, I would definitely want to head over to that chronoton on reading and see what's going on up there. We also have a crash site to our southwest, but according to these scans, and I think it's doubtful that there's anyone alive down there. We also have a pack of animals to our northwest, but they don't appear to be moving towards us. I don't know if they sense us yet, or if they're hostile.
Okay. Well, we can send an engineering team to look at the crash site with the security officer, and if you want to take some science, I can accompany you with some science members and we can go check out the chronoton readings if you'd like. And then I will leave a security here to keep an eye out for those animals with the doctor and her patients.
How large are each one of these hexes? About like how many hours or trek would it be each one of these sites?
In daylight hours, you're looking at, because at night it's just you'd be hurting the whole way. Unless you had you could put on an EVA suit. Never mind. If you had an EVA suit, sorry. By EVA suit at night or by day, it would take. Each hex is. I say each hex has an hour worth of dedicated travel.
Yikes!
And that's you guys hustling as hard as you can. If you do a fitness test, you might be able to go faster, but you might wear yourselves out or injure yourselves. But that's you going at a safe, steady pace.
And I don't like the idea of taking a couple days journey out there.
Out to the readings?
Yep. So that's 12 hours just to get up there. So it would be a 2-day trip
get there
at
and
least.
back.
Okay. Hello. So each one is a few days out and back. Okay. The chronoton readings may affect us more rapidly than the crash site. So
the signals are weak, and according to my scans, the blast did occur at least a standard year or two ago, but we have nothing to indicate that it won't happen again, or if that had anything to do with the Sappho.
all right.
My professional opinion and says let's go after the chronoton source.
That was mine as well. Well, I hope you kept up on your cardio, Jolson.
Not really. I kind of failed gym several times over.
You like see her visibly get disappointed. All right. Well, when we get out of this, you're going running with me. And
Sorry, if you're larger than a hydrogen atom, I'm not really interested.
that may be, but if you're going to serve on a ship that I am, you need to at least be able to keep pace with me.
Captain?
So, yeah. So I guess we're gonna get some people together. Wash. Oh, my heart. Anyway, yeah. So I guess we're gonna try and set up to go towards the Chronoton things with some science nerds and some security jocks.
After a good night's sleep and a hearty meal.
Yes. In the morning.
Ah.
I mean, there's survival rations. The meal's not going to be very good, but it'll be hearty.
Eh. Yeah, but at least it's a meal. Do we have to make a head count for your children, Lieutenant? They do like to wander off.
Oh, 1 second. I can rally. Let me just wrangle the kid. And after a deep breath, Trollocs, Frimk, Afro, Imjin, Villix, get here now!
And then he puffs up.
Yes.
Cause
Yeah, but the kids think it's funny.
I mean, the Lieutenant Commander probably thinks it's hysterical. She just doesn't show it.
That's backwards.
What's backwards, huh?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay, sure. I also make the suggestion that everybody come armed just in case, because we don't know what's actually on this planet. Totally.
I should hope that's standard procedure. If not, I'll be writing a strongly worded letter.
Yeah, sometimes you have to remind the scientists, because they'd rather bring their science kit than a phaser.
I'm always of the opinion of why not both.
Well, that's why you're a good egg, Jolson.
So, on the following morning, who is heading where?
Well, I was going to assign engineers to go look at the crash site, but that's a few days out, too. Unless they hoof it. And then I was going to take the science team towards the Chronoton energy.
Is there any indication that our comm badges would work out at those ranges?
If you... Yes and no, it depends on the weather, but more often than not, it should work. Comm badges have a pretty long range, and the escape pods and parts of them are kind of helping you. Part of the setting up shelter is also setting up a comm network, so that way you can still use your comm badges.
Okay. So, if anyone starts dying, we can at least hear them scream. Got it.
Yep, pretty much. I'm also having one of my security officers going with the engineers as well. We'll have Zeldin go with the engineers, and Farrells will be helping out the dock.
Alright, Varista can...
Keeping an eye out.
And Varista can go with the science team.
I know we're supposed to use crew support, but we're all kind of on this planet together, so we're just gonna buckle up and just work it out.
Fair enough.
Who's gonna stay in command of the main site? The doc?
The doctor. Yeah. Because right now that's our little makeshift hospital and home and all that other stuff, so yeah. She's got a lot of work ahead of her. Keeping people alive.
Well, leave the lights on for us, Doctor.
I'll do my best.
And yeah. So, and I would assume that Ensign Washburn has stayed with the doctor. I'm not sure. Or has gone with the engineering team. I don't know.
For now, with the doctor, as they're still trying to get their quarters and their setup sorted.
Okay.
Gurix, please give me a reason plus security. This is opposed.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a momentum for an extra die then. Well, that's horrible.
Well, damn.
You discover something. As you're moving through the snow, you have a few crewmen with you from engineer. You have an engineering team with you. Is my understanding?
And I think one security person at least.
Okay.
Yeah, Zeldin and with the engineering team.
Yeah.
And
I would
Dory
assume
female.
you probably had one more engineer go with you, but I didn't pick a name off the list. Mathalos went with you. Ensign Mathalos.
Works for me.
He's a Bolian.
Oh, what an interesting
Murderer.
feature.
It's the murder of Steve Irwin. Kill it.
As you and the team start walking along across the snow, and you're hustling along. You have your tricorder out, scanning around real quick, still hustling along, and then your foot comes down on something fleshy. You kind of scramble for a bit as you lose your footing because you were not expecting to hit anything. And when you turn and your fellow officers turn to look, they see this pale blue, thin creature, as big as you are, lying on the snow, and you can see its long flaps lifting up. It looks you would almost mistake it for an earth manta ray if it weren't for the fact that it had protruding icicles and spikes all along its body that seemed to puff up as you turn to look at it.
Is it making any more movements? Is it standing still, or?
It doesn't look friendly. Do you hang around?
Phasers out very slowly.
Yep. Phaser
Step
out, very
away.
slow. Yep. Just sort of try to give it a wide berth and try to not make it any more angry.
Well, good sir, I'm going to have to ask you for a presence plus. I will say security in this case. Security or command. I'll give you either.
I will be
And
using
difficulty. And difficulty will be indeed 3, because this thing is, well, it's not exactly speaking a language, so, and it doesn't look happy with you right now.
Does a focus and negotiation apply?
I'll actually give it to you. You're visibly giving it the notion, we're leaving, sorry.
Okay.
We're not attacking.
Okay, and I'll spend another momentum because I'm so fond of wasting it, apparently.
I mean, that's what it's there for.
Oh, no.
Although for you, it clearly is literally a waste. I'm kidding.
Well, at the moment, you are in combat. As you start backing away, one of you, you're backing off, and then you crush a bit of ice underneath your boot, and it makes a loud crackle noise, and it sounds, and the creature just kind of puffs up and just starts coming at you. But when it starts coming at you, as a quick refresher, what happens is that the enemy gets a turn, then you get a turn, then it gets one of your side gets a turn, then it gets a turn.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's going first in this instance?
yes. Its whole body seems to light up with blue energy, and all its little spikes, you see electrical shocks zipping in between them rapidly. The whole thing seems to gather up into like a ball and just fires at you.
Well, that's bad.
It's got lightning arrays. It doesn't have phaser arrays.
That's a
Maybe it's
great
part-
time for a joke.
Yep. Maybe it's part Godzilla.
And it makes contact.
Oh well, this will be a shocking experience.
I'm glad you're having so much fun at my expense.
Oh, I'm sure much worse will happen to me later. It's okay.
Zzz, your whole body just starts jerking. It stiffens as you get hit. Thankfully, you don't get injured, but that hurt like heck.
That's another 4 stress?
That is 4 stress.
No,
Okay.
you'd have a type 2.
You'd have a type.
Yeah,
Okay.
you wouldn't have the rifle, but you'd have the long-handled one. Yeah.
And debilitating basically makes it hard to fix what hurt you in the first.
Okay. Well, I have 3 stress left, so that's bad.
Who of the Starfleet force is going to act back?
The security officer, I would hope.
Yeah, Zeldin, do your thing.
I'll do my thing.
Doesn't she have sniper as a focus?
Initially it was a sniper. I was told to make it just hand phasers in general. I don't know if that would cross over to that.
Oh yeah, no, that'll
You
work.
would.
Yeah.
So
If it was sniper, I would.
So hand phaser is like anything smaller than a starship would wield.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I have hand phasers, so yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Carry on.
What do I roll for this?
What are you trying to do? Are you trying to shoot it, punch it? Slow?
I want to shoot it.
Oh, fine. You are. Way to be
Kate's
a
there with her
troll.
claws.
Hey, when you're a hammer, everything's a nail.
It is a control plus security check. The difficulty is 2. It doesn't roll back because you're pointing a light at it basically that burns and destroys things. If I remember correctly, there's a cool thing you can do with phasers that can the charge ability. I'm not 100% on that because I've never shot a phaser as a character.
You can use your minor action to aim, I believe. You can use it to charge your thing for like penetration and devastating stuff like that, I think.
Can I charge it
type
for a
2.
stun?
Stun's the default shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's just do control, security, and shoot.
But if you charge it, you can also make it wide or whatever too, if you roll an effect.
There's just one target, so no need for a wide shot. Minor action aim. And I have a focus on hand phaser, so let's roll. Really?
Doesn't aim give you a reroll? I don't remember.
Looking that up now.
It does.
Yeah, he can reroll that complication.
Woo!
I'll reroll it. Oh yeah.
That's much better.
Noah is the sniper. Make sure I set it up right.
Jamie, mute your roll 20. You're coming through.
Oh.
Okay, so what you do is now that you've hit, you've banked 1 momentum, and which you could use immediately for things in combat. Again, I don't do combat often as a Starfleet officer. I'm used to monsters. But yes, you roll. What you do is you hit that little badge there next to your weapon, and that will fire that rolls the challenge dice, the amount of damage dealt.
Okay.
Well done.
You only have 2 security? That should be 7 dice. 3 plus security.
Oh, it's 3. Not. Oh wait, hold on.
3 plus security?
Yeah.
So
For
yeah, I
damage.
should have 7.
No. The
Or is
dice
it
roll
2?
automatically. No. The dice roll automatically adds the security. So let me put in the weapon damage.
Then why would my phaser only do 3 dice worth of damage when I have a 5 security?
Because that's the initial amount. It adds that number of the weapon plus your security.
Oh, okay.
So I'm rolling a total of 7 dice.
No,
It
it
rolled
rolled. It
7.
rolled correctly.
I rolled correctly. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, when you fire at it, it kind of flatters where it is, and it goes flat. It just stops moving.
Well, that was sufficiently terrifying. Can someone help me up?
I'm gonna keep my rifle trained on it until I'm sure that it is not gonna move.
Well, it's a phaser, but yeah.
Phaser.
So Gearix is fine.
You have to specify because
Yeah.
rifles cost to take. So
Yeah, because a Type 1 is like a little tiny remote control one. Type 2 is the pistol. Type 3 is the rifle.
Okay, so I just have a type 2. That works.
Yeah, the Dustbuster looking one.
I'm sorry, that was always my favorite design for the phaser.
You're right.
For the group heading north, I will have you roll me opposed number of insight plus security. Sorry. I'm lying to you. It is reason plus security.
Okay, reason plus security I can do. Want me to forward that? Lieutenant?
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I got this one. If it's a security check, I got this one.
Okay, go for security.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a threat for a dice. And I don't have any focuses in this, so yeah. That, and make sure that's gonna roll properly, and hope for the best. That lag will be my friend, but doesn't look like it right now. It may roll twice, so just be prepared. Yeah, see, I told you it'd reroll. Again, sorry.
Jolson, you can roll to assist on this one.
I will. Not my. Alright. Let me get to the right page. And I will assist.
Yep, reason security. We need one more.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that was the wrong one.
No, it was actually me, Jolson. Stats, just the wrong character.
Oh. Okay.
So, you've actually generated one momentum, because you got one more than it did, I believe. My math's right,
Yep.
You did. As you're walking along, you see a disturbance, a rainbow, almost prismatic shimmer briefly ahead of you.
I kind of hold Jolson back and the science team, and I take out my phaser, and I ask him to scan it first with the tricorder if he can.
I will
As I
gladly
pull my
scan.
phaser. Yeah.
I will gladly scan that.
Please go ahead.
Reason science, difficulty 1.
Yay,
That's
so
right.
we're up to 6 momentum.
Do the science.
As you scan the creature, it appears to be some sort of biological. It doesn't seem to be affected by the cold at all. And it seems to be naturally attenuated to the radiation and visual spectrum of the area, meaning that it can kind of have a sort of biological cloak of a sort. It, by sheer chance, it's imperfect since since there's snow blowing across its body, and that's kind of what gave you a hint to even scan there. If there wasn't wind blowing at it, or is in a cave or something, you get the feeling that difficulty would have been 3, not 1, to sense this thing. And you definitely wouldn't have been able to see it that easily. It doesn't seem to be particularly disturbed by your presence. It doesn't seem to be moving at all. If anything, it seems dormant.
Yeah.
Well, let's let sleeping targs lie. Sneak around it.
Yeah. I basically just motion everybody to quietly step around it. As tenderly as possible. And then we all die. Because we vanish.
Doctor!
Yes.
As you're left with the command of a lot of people, there is a growing level of unrest among the crew. A lot of them are wondering what happened. A lot of them don't know what's gone on. They don't know where they are. What's the status of the rescue efforts? Where's the captain? Eventually, you're starting overhearing this, and you expected a few murmurs here or there at the start, but you're getting, without rolling insight or anything, it's obvious that these people are starting to freak out. They're starting to clue in that of how much danger they're in right now, and how and how little they actually know.
She is also an empath, so there's also like the background kind of emotions too from all this, I assume.
Yep. In the background emotion, you can feel that the people who you helped triage are the calmest because they had a senior officer. Like you're senior. You're more senior than they are. They're like ensigns and crewmen. So you're an officer with 2 pips, not just 1. And you were a doctor, so they feel safe around you. Everyone else hasn't really clued in that you're here because you didn't treat them because they weren't hurt.
She'll come out of the tent and then start doing rounds, giving orders. Hey, looking to get your provisions together. We might be here for a while while we wait for help. Make sure the shelters are secure, stuff like that.
Okay, I will have you roll presence command, unless you have doctor's orders. And I will make this a task roll of 2, complication 1.
I was gonna say, if you don't have doctor's orders, you are a terrible doctor.
Hey, now.
You're a rock
Kidding.
star?
Get your
We're
game
spending
on.
spending momentum
We're
for an
gonna
extra
go play,
dice.
right?
Okay. So you claw back that momentum. You're able to get the men in order. They start listening. They realize, oh crap, someone's actually taking charge, and they start getting back into order again. In an empath point of view, it doesn't seem like it's a. You're getting this sense that everyone has the captain and the commander on their mind, but they're trying to focus on the orders they gave you as some sort of rock to hang on to, some sort of stability that they're Starfleet. They have the chain of command still exists, but there's still that niggle in the back of everyone's mind that where are they?
She's gonna ask everyone to bundle up into groups of 4 to 5, and then elect a team lead that the team lead could report to me on anything that they find, as well as like how they're organizing it and anything that they might need.
I will ask you for a presence command roll again, difficulty 2, as you are basically creating advantage of a calm crew.
Rolling 3 dice.
Damn. Look at that doctor crushing it.
So for future command rolls, now that they've been calmed down and they've been organized, it'll be command rolls to keep them doing stuff is a lot easier now.
Yeah, spending that 2 floating momentum to like create an advantage with that they're organized and they're keeping busy.
Sure, I'll give you that. And you notice that the camp becomes a lot more organized, and then everyone's minds start getting a lot more focused on the job and at the organized, and they stop worrying too much about the captain. The common feel you're getting is that we'll know when we know. For now, we need this done, we need this done, we need that done. And everyone's a lot more focused on their job. Gearix.
Yes.
You and the engineers you and your team, I should say, come upon imagine someone had a big old ice block. You ever seen one of those? Like, it's a big square block that they cut out of the ice, and it could be as big as a person. Imagine that's a whole mountainside, and then some jerk grabbed a baseball the size of a house and hucked it in, and just smashed a ton of ice. So you can kind of see this jumbled mess of metal and smoke and sparks coming from inside the hole about a good, I'd say 20, 25 meters at a slope.
Okay, I guess I'm taking out the tricorders, scanning for any life signs, any power signatures.
Are you looking for life signs or power signatures? Two different scans for me.
Let's do life signs first.
I will ask for reason plus medicine. I will say difficulty 2.
Okay, I'm going to spend a momentum for that. Nope.
Scan's inconclusive. There's life forms for sure, but you're not sure if there's any life signs in there. There's too much.
Okay, let's see. Let's see if there's any lingering power signatures from whatever crashed there.
That'll be reason science difficulty 2.
Well, that's slightly better for me. Let's give it a shot. I just cannot succeed on anything tonight, apparently.
Did I mix up the wrong? Did I? Okay. I feel like I have messed up somewhere in this calculation.
You try to scan, but you're getting a lot of conflicting readings that don't make any sense. You could give an answer if you were pressed, but it'd be a 50-50 coin flip. You're not sure what you're reading on your...
Okay, well this thing's clearly useless. I guess we should call on it. We're gonna need to investigate it by hand. How difficult would be actually look into the impact site?
You'd probably have to crawl down in there to actually and carefully get into the wreckage to pick around in it. I would say how difficult it would be a daring plus security check, difficulty 2, but complication 2. And I'm going to spend 2 threat. There's a risk of harming yourself by being cut on the wreckage.
That's a pretty crap roll for me. Zeldin, want to give that a shot?
Yeah, sure, whatever. Reason science?
No, I think this is the getting the climbing down fitness.
Alright.
This one's the daring security one to get down.
Oh,
During
yeah.
security? I can do that with my eyes closed. And apparently I did have my eyes closed.
Well, that's the wrong amount of dice, but I'll take. I'll re-roll it. That's.
We're crushing this, guys.
There you go. So I wasn't throwing 5 dice worth of. So that person takes 1 stress as they are going down, and they cut themselves on a bit of the ship, and they have to kind of scramble away before they basically impale themselves on some of the wreckage. They can try again, but they risk getting hurt.
I'll try again. There we go.
You're able to get down inside, and in there, you find what appears to be 12 bodies. None of them are moving right now. Some are buried in snow. Some seem to be wounded in various ways from shrapnel of the ship. Some seem to be bent in unnatural angles with their body geometry, to put it that way. But whether they're alive or dead, that's a medicine check. But they don't look.
I mean, I guess I could do a medicine check while I'm down here, or at least if anyone's breathing. Reason medicine?
Reason medicine.
This is gonna be so great.
And I'll make that difficulty 1, complication 2.
All right. So I can't tell shit.
Yeah, they could all be dead. They could all be alive and just not showing it. And there's a variety of alien species here. It's hard to guess.
Officer Zeldin, what do we got in there?
Well, bodies and pieces of bodies. I'm not sure or how many altogether.
Oh dear, that's not good at all.
Looks to be about 12 altogether, but yeah, looks like they hit this at warp 7. Colloquially speaking.
Garrick's Lieutenant Commander Jal.
This is Jaw.
Spending 2 threat, you hear nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. There's my answer.
Ugh, the comms are busted. All right. I'm gonna try to. No, it's like a big ice block with sort of like a giant sort of crater in it. Would it be possible to try to like between the two of us, possibly what's the word I'm looking for? Like excavate a passage safely to try to get at least make it so we can evac people.
You can, but it'll take some time, and you risk being caught out at night.
And of course, I'm not sure if there's anyone to evac here, but at least there would be gear. Do I sense any running any equipment, any electronics still working?
None of the electronics seem working, but you do see the jumbled mess of the survival kit that would have been inside. Some supplies, damaged EVA suits, possibly 1 or 2.
Are any of the suits or is any of the gear missing, indicating that someone crawled out of here alive?
No, if anything, it looks like it's been lost. If it's missing, best guess from your training, from your security training, would be it's caught up in the crash or in the debris. You'd have to do a full like crash investigation to pull the thing apart to make sure nothing's been stolen or been used. Just because there's so much chaos, it's hard to tell whether something's supposed to be there or if it got thrown there.
Okay. So, I don't think... Lieutenant, I don't think there's any survivors in here.
Alright, salvage what you can safely, and we're going to make our way back before it gets dark out here. Fortunately, there's nothing we can do for them. Can we at least identify any, try to get the comm badges so we can at least identify who they are.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I'll grab comm badges and close eyelids as I can and pick through the wreckage. Lieutenant, how much time do we have down here so I know what to prioritize?
I'll give you 30 minutes. I'll give you 30 minutes. We got to start making our way back soon if you want to beat nightfall.
30 minutes. Aye.
You guys having it estimated beforehand, the only way you're getting back before nightfall is if you fitness run the heck out on the way back.
Okay, so we're going to be stuck out at nightfall regardless, unless we hoof it?
Unless you just sprint the whole way.
Okay, that's no good. But we have Evo suits, so, I mean, then those power supplies should hold out, right?
They should, yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully they'll hold out until we get back to camp.
Are we in Evo suits now?
I'm willing to have you in EVA suits if you guys would have wanted to bring those.
Oh yeah, yes. Given the distance we are going, yes, I think we would. I thought that was already established. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's okay. Certain vital things like EVA suits usually don't have an opportunity cost. It's something that a GM might assume, but it's good of you to ask.
Cool. All right, so yeah, we'll get the comm badges out, salvage any gear that we can, and start making our way back.
Yeah, I'll take the 30 minutes to grab what I can. Need me to roll for something?
No, you're able to grab everything pretty easily, unless you're digging around in the wreckage.
No,
you're grabbing
essentials-
what's like.
no.
Not when I have 30 minutes. And so I'll just grab like comm badges and the most obvious stuff. Medkit, survival gear, air, weapons, and that's the third.
Actually, you know what? I'm willing to give you I will say a reason plus security roll to gather up essentials, basically creating an advantage of gathering extra supplies for the rest of the. So difficulty 2.
My reason's not that great.
Can I try to talk him through it as an assist?
You certainly can.
All right.
I still roll like crap. But it worked out.
Anything else you do at the crash site?
No, I think we gotta start making our way back.
Yep, that's our 30 minutes.
Meanwhile,
back at the Hall of Justice.
God damn.
I wanted to be a voice actor, can you not tell?
So, meanwhile, the team that went off to see the Chronotons, you come upon what appears to be lying half buried in the snow, a Federation starship. USS Victoria.
Huh.
Centaur class. I'll actually get you to see it.
I landed.
I made it. Woohoo!
Your pickup? No.
Wait, he crash landed on a planet. Where's the tree?
A half a mile or 5 miles back behind.
I'm sorry, every time we have to crash land a ship, if you're flying it and your name is Washburn, there's gonna be a tree joke in there somewhere.
Absolutely, and right now I'm telling you that we have to redneck it.
That'd be alright.
Gotta get it together.
Well, that's something I didn't plan on seeing down here.
Yeah.
What do we know about the Centaur? Or the Victoria? Was it actually stationed out here?
Nope.
I'm sorry, I was just going to ask if I could have 2 momentum to use 2 momentum to have heard stories about the Centaur class and stuff, because I'm kind of curious how it ended up planetside. They're not supposed to do that.
I will either give you a con reason to know that about ships, or difficulty 2, or you can spend 2 moments.
Yeah, we'll do this 2 momentum. Because my con is trash. I was hoping it'd be an engineering roll, but it's fine. We have plenty of momentum. It'll be alright. Because it may help us get it off the planet, knowing this information.
You know roughly that it's one of those things you've been briefed on. Centaur class saw service back in the Dominion War. However, this is an old ship. This thing's been around since like the 2280s. But but it's been refitted and reused just because there's a lot of them still existed for a long time. This definitely isn't supposed to be a landside. That's not what it's built for. It's more of a patrol destroyer type ship more than anything. And given, without knowing the Victoria's history itself, but the Centaurs as a class, Centaurs generally don't do deep space. They don't house enough people. They're not really built for that. You'd build them for, like, in early eras, they're a military type vessel or a patrol vessel. In later eras, they're more like technical test beds, or in a pinch, like in the Dominion War, you use them for patrol vessels anyway and go, forget it, whatever, it's a ship. But this thing is way out of position for its class. But you're not familiar with the Victoria on its own.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about it like that.
I'm only saying that because it's not a famous ship. It's not the famous Victoria. It's like, no, it's not a special ship that rings.
Yeah, her brain is more racking. If this thing is salvageable, how do we get it off the planet?
With enough power, its engines are usually pretty good. These things were pretty nimble in their day, and they're assuming you can get the engines working.
Yeah.
Can I confirm that that the Victoria is the source of the chronotons?
Definitely, it's like the whole ship's covered in it, and actually that's what confused your sensors from before, because it just seemed an odd shape for a chronoton fading pattern. It didn't seem anything that would happen on a planet. Now it makes perfect sense to you. You're staring at a starship that was probably covered in it. To you.
Lieutenant, would that ship be safe to enter right now with the chronoton radiation?
I would definitely want to check that.
Yeah, I don't want to tell the crew we possibly found a way off this rock without knowing if we can get on it.
I would like to scan to see if there's any adverse temporal effects from the chronoton radiation.
I would have to ask you, unfortunately, for a reason medicine test difficulty 2.
Medicine's not great. Can I use my focus in quantum mechanics?
I'll let you sling that in, sure.
Am I gonna die, Doc?
I keep forgetting to switch names, but yeah, that was Jolson.
You wouldn't want to turn on any sort of chronoton generating device right now, but it's below the safety limit that you remember from lab test procedures. So it's safe to enter now, but if it was increased by a significant amount, it can become dangerous again within an hour, 2 hours, depending on the device.
Okay, so no one sneezes any chronotons, we should be fine.
Pretty much.
I would definitely want to. I'll definitely want to be careful poking around the engines, in case something in there is the source of the chronotons. Because if it is, you might be doing the time warp again.
That was a good one.
Earth movie, got it. Earth movie reference, I got it. Yeah, she taps on her comm badge. Does that mean it didn't go through? I assume.
It's like you tried to reach for it and you heard like something almost came through, and then you tapped it the rest of the way, and then it made.
Okay.
All right. Now can I do another air scan to see if this chronoton radiation is interfering with our sensors and communications?
I'm only give that to you for free. It is not. The levels are too low.
It's the ionization in the planet, I would imagine.
If anything, chronotons would cause a time lag, or it make the message arrive too soon.
Okay, so this ship isn't the cause of our interference, so maybe whatever caused the interference caused the ship.
Yes. That's
Well, shall we
certainly
knock
a theory.
Are we go in and see if anyone's home?
Yeah. Yeah, let's see if anybody's home.
Can we even hail the ship itself?
Oh, I was gonna go find the hatch. But, yeah. I was just gonna try and go in through the shuttle bay if it was, accessible.
Well, let's go in.
Yep. Do I have to search for the manual release, or?
I will get back to you in a moment.
Yes, sir.
Doctor.
Yes.
And I believe we have a pilot?
Hello.
Yes.
I just clued in. You're literally... Okay. I'm a smart...
Wow. Did you really just take that long to realize who he was? Like,
Yeah.
by name? Wow.
Well, no, I made a sheet in officers. Anyway, don't worry about it. It's my own goof. So...
Did I travel through time on the ship and I'm sitting there in the bridge wondering where the hell I am on a planet?
no.
No, you landed with us.
All right.
Washburn, are you caught up on the plot so far?
I've been listening since 15 minutes in, I think, when I saw the text of Makira's Twitch show.
Okay, cool.
So I've listened to most, yeah. Ever since the being on the ship and everybody needing to get in the escape pods and some people trying to do this, but Wayne's character slamming them in there anyway, just all the drama. Just kidding. But yes, I've heard since, a lot of that.
To be fair, I did make a promise to her husband to get her out of there alive.
You did.
Well, Ensign and Doctor, the two of you are at camp. Night has fallen. You haven't heard back from either away.
I don't like having a shuttle not to be able to get people around.
And we were on the assumption it was 2 days there, 2 days back? Something like that? Or was it a day there and then day back?
10 hours there or so, 6 hours there or so. So 12 and back to the lower one, 20 and back, 20 for there and back. And
Oh, wow.
but usually protocol would have each team check in by night after a few hours, and enough time has passed that it's odd that they haven't said anything.
And to be fair, y'all would have checked in.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
She's gonna tap on the comm badge and go, Dr. McNeil to the away teams. Please come in. Dr. Neal to the away teams.
When I see the commander doing it and not having any response, I try mine. Ensign Washburn to away team. Not getting any response either, Commander.
So it's Doctor for her.
Doctor, sorry. I'll get it, yeah. But very true. Doctor.
She's a lieutenant, too.
Are you slapping me down? I'm just kidding.
She's gonna call her tricorder.
Right.
She's just gonna follow it for tricorder and take some atmospheric readings, see if there's anything causing the interference.
Reason science, difficulty 2, please.
What's my science? My science is 2, so I would try to help
Mine's
if
4.
I'm the only one there.
You can assist, totally.
What should I roll?
Spending the momentum for a third die.
You would still roll reason science there, Washburn. You set the task roll to 1.
Okay, got that. Task roll to 1. And click it. And what rolls the dice again? Where is it?
You see the little comm badge next to the, the numbers? Yeah.
Gotcha. Here we go. Oh, maybe not.
As for 2, so you generated 2 momentum. It appears that there is some sort of electromagnetic scattering effect in the weather patterns in the area. All comms are going to be interrupted during this time unless you boost the signal of the transmission. The comm badges on their own just aren't doing it enough, and the system that the shelters have is more to make sure that this even works at all.
Is there a way to use the tricorders to boost the power, maybe?
Get out of my head.
Or phasers? Or one of our phasers?
If you do, you lose access to it. You won't have it for the rest of the mission because you'd have to surrender it to that task because you're taking it apart.
I would suggest a tricorder of a pilot or security officer over a phaser.
Exactly, and we would probably know to do that since, protection around here, since we don't know what's going on, a tricorder is better to lose than a phaser ever would be, so, yeah. I will donate mine. I'm more of a pilot, so I'm like, I hand it over. or help, yeah.
Ensign, do you think you could jerry-rig something together to hopefully boost the signal?
I could certainly try. And would that be another reason science?
That would be a daring engineering.
Okay.
I will make that difficulty 2 as well because I'm a nice person.
And let's see. Sensational curiosity. I don't know if it works. I can fly anything. Don't think that works. Fast. The voice of the crew. Don't think that works. And then ships, fast ships, and the New World. Nope, that doesn't work. Okay, so I'm not claiming anything right now. But I switch it to 2 back for the task roll now that I'm rolling it?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do have momentum. You can buy an extra dice with momentum to roll 3.
I would like to.
Yes, you should do that then.
And
So the task roll is 3.
3? Okay,
Yep.
and then here's the roll. Ooh, right with my chinny chin chin, so yes.
Thinking back to your heydays of the academy of pulling apart your tricorder to really know how it works, you're able to put it back together again this time instead of getting yelled at, and you're able to figure out a way to attach it in this mangled mess of wire and tiny EPS transistors. But hey, this thing's a lot more powerful now.
It's a mess, Doctor, but please try again.
She taps her comm badge. Dr. McNeil to the away team, please come in.
Do we get it this time?
Both away teams here, their comm badges beep.
Gear's here.
This is Lieutenant Commander Jaw.
We managed to boost the signal. There's some sort of electromagnetic interference. What are your guys' status?
Crash site.
Same.
That's good.
Crash
Cold.
site. Crash site. No survivors, unfortunately. We were able to get the comm badges back, so we should be at least identify the our deceased. We're on our way back now. Should reach not too much longer.
Crash site. Fully intact Federation starship. Call sign USS Victoria.
My eyes perk up.
That's remarkable.
I don't know if she'll fly, but she's at least shelter.
Does she have 2 intact nacelles? I will get her to fly.
They look like it. You ever work on a Centaur class?
Before we start firing up engines, though, I will have to note that it looks like this thing's been through some sort of temporal phenomenon. So,
but according to Lieutenant Jolson, the chronoton radiation is within safe limits for us to get our injured into at least some kind of heatable area. The only problem is getting there.
Yeah, only problem is getting there, and I'm apprehensive about firing up a warp engine with chronotons about. Unless, at least until we can find the source of those chronotons.
I look at the doctor and I say, may I? In the sense of the comm.
She just nods.
Say, did you see any shuttles?
I'm just about to... At this point, she's reaching up for the manual release to the shuttle bay of the Victoria.
Give me fitness, security, difficulty 1.
Wash is sitting on the edge of his chair right now. You know this, right?
I would imagine.
Right?
Everybody's gonna hate me for this. I'm giving you a threat.
Thank you.
Even though we have momentum. I need that reroll, y'all.
When you're bold, you're bold.
Oh, come on. No,
I like that that's a system.
May I assist?
You certainly can.
Alright, just 1 dice. This is fitness security.
Got it in 1.
Alright. Now we're just waiting for it to... There we go.
And a crit.
And I can reroll that 0. So, why not? Oh, never mind. There we go.
I mean, I will take that.
Roll double. No, we just won't say I rerolled it and just call that a fluke.
I'll be nice. You gain some momentum there, I believe, because I only asked for 1. So you get 3, I believe.
Well, cool. We have 1 momentum to spend.
If we go down to 5 and spin the floating, can there be shuttles?
You certainly can.
Functional shuttles.
As you guys step onto the deck plating inside the Victoria, you take out your tricorder real quick and do a quick scan, and by chance, actually, funny enough, you actually drop yourself into the pilot area of the like the shuttle bay control, because the shuttle bays on Centaur class are on the bow. They're on the front. So you basically open up a hatch into the shuttle bay area, and you see some shuttles in there. I mean, the downside is that and I'm spending 2 threat. The downside here is that they seem to be, the nose is pointed down. So you could launch, but you'd be launching into a snowbank.
Yeah, Shaw will get back on her comms. Good news, there are shuttles. Bad news, the nose and shuttle bay are pointed towards the ground.
Oh.
Well, that won't get us very far. My recommendation would be to see if we can restore main power as soon as possible. At least there'd be life support. We can start moving people over.
All right. And I look over at Jolson. Go ahead.
Commander, wouldn't the ship have basically a... I would recommend moving the wounded. So a shuttle or perhaps maybe a working transporter aboard the Victoria would be most helpful.
Yeah, once we get the chronoton situation figured out, again, it's not dangerous levels yet, but we don't know where they're coming from. I just want to continue stressing that.
And transporters and chronotons are not the best combination in my experience.
Yeah, Doctor, if you could give us a few hours to tour the ship, as it were, see if we can find a source of these chronotons. If we come back and it's clear, I'll send for the engineers and possibly Instant Washburn.
I mean, give us 3 hours to at least scrub the ship, see what's functional, what's not.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, I was thinking 3 to 5 hours of us walking down the ship, checking for chronotons, and me doing a cursory, just like, oh, this may work, this is fried, this will work, this is fried, kind of thing.
Question.
Commander, I would advise that you do not remain too long on the ship if there's a large amount of chronotons. The research I've been doing has been dealing with chronoton radiation poisoning, and you could technically, your organs or other tissue in your body could de-age or age older than what you really are.
Noted, Doctor.
Again, the levels, those are within safe levels. Those for now, and they are decreasing. I've noted at least a 2% decrease since when I first saw them, so they're decaying extremely slowly.
Just be cautious. Don't do anything too reckless. And if they don't have, and try to keep, and if you can tell me what their warp core looks like, I might be able to figure out if we can get this off the ground.
Is there security people here also with me and the doctor?
Yes, you have a Deltan security officer that is currently probably playing nurse. Because she's also the field medic.
So...
she
I could
is,
head to the ship?
Barrels. I mean, if...
But I mean, I'm the ensign, so I guess how would we go about, say, like, the ensign being like, I want to go over there and get a shuttle in case they can't get that thing. At least we'll have a shuttle.
Well, the point is the shuttle bay, like, if you try to pull a shuttle out,
Oh, I know. That's... I would work on it, kind of thing.
Huh.
The fun of the rolls.
We wanted to... We're gonna do it, like, we are gonna get you on the ship. Like, that is our...
just being... Just role-playing.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Just questions.
Asking is probably the best way to get it done, then. You want to just roleplay that out.
Yeah, be like, again, what's your character's name again?
Lieutenant Commander Jaw.
Like, Lieutenant Commander Jaw, possibility, if I could get over there, I could work on getting at least a shuttle out of the bay in case there is a problem with the chronoton issue. At least we'd have a shuttle and power.
If you think you can fly it out of this small gap that I'm looking for, then boy, am I glad you survived that crash. Yeah, if the doctor doesn't need you and you can find somebody that will go with you, because nobody's walking out in this alone.
Oh, that's true too. Is there?
Yeah, there should be an engineer there too.
Yeah, Mathalos is probably there.
I'll be like Mathalos, and then you'll have an extra engineer.
Yeah, the two ensigns. But yeah, she'll tell you as long as the doctor doesn't need you to. We can definitely use you over here. And while we're waiting for them, we'll tour the ship, because it's going to take them a few hours.
Exactly.
Scene change. We lose one momentum.
Silence.
is deafening. Crushing me.
No, both
Very
ensigns out in the
cold.
snow are having a party.
I can definitely see Wash just go, hey, look, it's snow angels.
Later, I got to get in front of a window on the bridge and play with dinosaurs. It's gonna happen.
It was actually already written into the backstory of that character
See,
that they have dinosaurs on their console, or they did have dinosaurs on their console.
they will be replaced with more if the
I will
captain will
ask,
allow.
Lieutenant Commander, I will ask you to roll me as you're inspecting the ship, I'll ask you to roll a con plus reason or engineering plus reason to get a read on the ship. A general sense of the ship's status. I will put the difficulty at 3, complication 2.
I will help.
Yep. And
I-
I will spend a momentum for an extra dice since it's not a security roll, so I couldn't re-roll it anyway. We'll play it safe this roll. Don't do this. Yeah, because then you end up like Michelson, dead in a shuttle somewhere.
Did he make the shuttle, the new one? Did he die in that?
No.
Oh, okay.
We'll explain it later. Come on. With the
No,
lag.
that was just one interest, and now my interest is done.
Do we have 2 more? I'm spending 2 more momentum to get rid of that complication. And ignore that second roll. My computer is weird. I apologize.
That's it. You're kicked. Get out of here. No.
Well,
You
It's
got
gonna
me
have
in, and
fun.
now they could kick you easily.
yeah.
Oh, that's not ominous at all.
That's awesome. 8472. No. The Borg. No.
Don't give your GM ideas.
You guys already
Oh
did that.
no. We've already dealt with the Borg.
The Hirogen. No, you already did that.
Oh, right. Oh, dear. That's unfortunate.
No, I spent the 2 momentum to get rid of that.
Right.
Yeah, let's not do that today.
Yeah, because we started out with enough threat as it is. We don't need to add to it.
Oh no, he probably would have complicated things and we would have died.
Looking around, the general shape of the ship, oddly, I will tell you this, the one thing that is striking is there is no bodies. There are no scorch marks. Nothing within the ship is damaged. It's just like someone shut the lights off and went on home. Aside from the fact it's buried in a faraway world, but the internals look empty.
Just like everybody just turned off all the lights and left.
Yeah.
But did they leave the keys?
I can
There doesn't
hotwire
seem to
this
be any
bitch.
emergency lighting right now. Power seems to be off. Computer's unresponsive. It seems like, and the only way you've been able to move around the ship has been through Jeffrey's tubes. You do get a feeling that this ship has seen a lot of refits. Although the refit, as you see now, it seems to be in that Galaxy class era of starship design, and it's like they got that far and kind of stopped. Like they never got to the next refit.
So, this thing has been in service since 2280, up until at least maybe a decade ago.
Exactly.
If you fly fast, why kick it to the curb?
I want to. Is there any way I can do a science scan to see how long this ship has been sitting in the snow?
I will give you a reason science difficulty 4.
Focus.
Jaw will kind of look at Jolson and be like, "You think we can take the scans and move?"
Yeah, we can move and scan.
All right.
Astrophysics,
Let's wait
quantum
engineering.
mechanics for focus.
I'll have to say no, sadly.
All right.
But as he's scanning, we're heading towards engineering.
Gotcha. You can look at spending threat, spending momentum, determination if you still, or if you don't, challenging one of your existing values.
I could do a determination and bold. I'm not sure if I want to blow all that right now. Okay, I'll at least do bold. I'll spend a threat.
One threat?
One threat. And reason science?
That's right.
Praise the divines.
And the question you were asking was how long ago?
Yeah, how long has this ship been sitting on this planet?
2 years.
That seems to align with my chronoton scans.
By the way, would you guys have asked the base to gather to the ship at, not immediately, but at a later point you would have?
I think right now we're more looking of getting shuttles or the ship to them.
Yeah, we're trying to find a way to get the shuttles to them to move the wounded.
Yeah, we'll have him sit tight for at least a day so we can make an assessment and then figure out who needs to go to what location.
Okay.
Yeah, if they have a day, if they have a day kind of thing. Yeah. We will time crunch this if we have to. But yeah.
When you arrive in the engineering bay, and the doors don't open right away, so you have to take one of the manual override like suction cup thingies to kind of stick it in and haul it open. When you haul it open, you don't see an engineering bay. You just see almost like a Borg-like block in front of you, except it's not that threatening black and green. It's almost this reddish, almost brassy gold look, and it looks like a cube, a section of a cube, and you can actually see like a Federation style door inset into that wall in front of you.
Huh. Lieutenant, I'm gonna have to ask you to stand back a couple meters.
Oh, just like poke around the corner and...
It appears that the block is flush with the door. Like the door just happened to open up and then it was a block immediately out.
Did we get momentum from the roller?
No, because difficulty was 4, wasn't it?
Okay.
Yeah.
He nailed it. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to have the lieutenant step back, and I am going to carefully open the door with my phaser drawn and set to max, because yes.
Okay. I'm spending 2 threat. Don't worry, everything's fine.
Oh god. Sorry, Jolson.
Him already.
Sorry, Jolson. Oh yeah, no, he's great. You should hear him as a sarcastic Vulcan. It's even better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Although he
sarcastic, I'm
has-
just correct.
He
I
has,
think I have.
although the crew has 0 respect for him.
The Vulcan.
Nah, the
Well,
doctor-
Lieutenant Commander, I will have you roll, surprisingly, Insight plus Security,
yeah.
difficulty 2, as you start firing into the door.
Oh, I'm not firing. I'm just kind of looking in with my phaser. Like, if something jumps at
Oh
me,
dear God, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, no, sorry, I take that back. You set it to maximum. My bad.
Oh yeah, no, I'm getting ready to be attacked. I'm not
Okay.
firing yet.
When you walk up to the door, well, like I said before, like the sliding doors that would be there, you slid that open, but there's like it's like someone took a giant brassy cube and just stuck it right in the doorway. So it's actually kind of and pressed it up against the door. There is a doorway inset that cube, but it doesn't. It looks kind of Federation-y, but you don't see any override handles or anything for it.
Well, if it doesn't just open by getting near it, like a normal door with power, and it's...
When you get near it, you feel heat emanating from the...
Right. Sorry, I'm gonna have to ask you to describe the heat, like flash fire heat, or like radiant heat, like...
Like when you put your hand over a really hot stove and you're not touching the burner, but you're like really close.
Okay.
Do I feel the heat, or do you let me know there's heat?
Yeah, I'm just kind of like... You think you can get a scan of this?
Yeah,
structure?
let's scan for our radiation at least. Make sure. Right.
If you wish to scan it, be reason science difficulty 3 complication.
Complication range what?
2.
Eek. If I'm scanning for radiation, quantum mechanics focus.
You're just shooting for that, aren't you?
I've tried to use every focus I can.
I'll give it to you.
Should have used a momentum. Dang it.
I can still use bold. Or already I have to call that before I...
Yeah.
As you scan the door, all you're getting is the energy signature of heat. The tricorder is having a hard time differentiating from other energy signatures that you're trying to scan for. It's like that heat is so overwhelming that it's blocking out anything else you're trying to...
Well, it's your call. Oh, Commander.
Well, we can't start the ship without getting into that engineering bay. Actually, I have an idea. She spins around and it looks to like the unseen observer like she's like doing that panic look, like where is it kind of look. She's looking for the Jeffries tube access to engineering.
As you go, you do find it. And you find the hatch show lead forward. It's not like right next to the door. You kind of have to walk down a few steps before you can get to a little cubby hole door that leads to a Jeffries tube access.
Yeah. I'm going to look back at Jolson and just kind of like take a deep breath and hit the button on the Jeffries tube.
Boom!
If you die, I'll
Like
kill
that,
you.
yeah.
Meanwhile,
Back at the Hall of Justice.
Ensign, you've come upon the ship along with a bit of the team you brought along with you. It was not a pleasant run, and it was dark out, but hey, you're here, and you found the access patch that presumably the Lieutenant Commander alerted you to.
Kumbaya. Oh, you guys weren't continuing with me? Oh, well. Everybody go ahead in and help the other teams. And head towards the hole. And in my head, we've had this problem before. growing up.
Yeah, you're able to open up the hatch. Thankfully, someone loosened it pretty severely. It was once upon a time stuck, but you're able to pull it open and get into the shuttle bay control room. And you can see down into the room of some shuttles and a few worker bees that are in there. And you see the problem that the Lieutenant Commander pointed out, that the problem is that the angle of the ship seems to be pointed at a downward angle, so it's pointed down into the snow. But that's the current problem. Also, lack of power.
Understood. So I'll get to work on that sort of thing. Power to the area, as well as getting some of the worker bees to help, and then somehow get the hull widened, or get the shuttle bay door to open up more, or just those sort of things.
I'm willing to let you spend a momentum to find a backup battery system in the area, or you can do a reason science difficulty 2 to try to scan it.
The choice is yours. We only have one momentum, so make it count.
Yeah, I have 789 with that, and then
Yeah, just spin the momentum. Get the battery.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too, because at least then I have something to work with.
Yeah.
So I will spin the momentum for a battery and hit my comm and let everybody know that I've arrived. Because I have to remember also that I'm also instant, and so everybody should know that I'm available to rip me, pull me this way to that job, this way to the other job, all that sort of thing. But before they do, I'm gonna hopefully get the power connected first. And then that's kind of what I'm working on. Yeah.
I will say, Lieutenant Commander and Lieutenant Jolson, when you get the call, like you guys are getting ready to get in the Jeffries tube, he's way too early. He's immensely early. He covered what took you tens of hours in the span of maybe 2 or 3.
How the hell did you get here? Did you find jet skis?
No, sorry, I say, dude. Okay, let me get to forward time. Let me think of how I'd say this. I'm like, sorry, sir, I don't understand. That was a really, really difficult walk in that spot, that you climbed. We followed your trail, and there's no real easier way to climb there, so we still had to follow that. And then there was that long, open, just expanse. Yeah.
What he is surprised about, Ensign, is we just called you 2 hours ago. That walk took us 10.
I will look at my chronometer on my arm and verify, is it 2 hours or is it 10 hours that I've journeyed?
Between your chronometer and how sore your legs feel, yeah, it's been 10 hours.
What does our chronometer say?
2 hours.
I will, it's one of those, since we're fantasy sci-fi thinking, I will send the data of my suit to them. And say, here's the data, check it out. Just not in the sense of, just of...
Like EV, yeah, from tricorder to tricorder kind of thing.
Yeah, here, check it out. Kind of,
compare.
That's what we experienced on the way. Yeah. Exactly, that sort of thing.
Well.
Whoa, that's alarming.
Then I would also say, ask, the other engineer and the team that walked with you, Or sorry, that walked with us. They'll back, they'll also pipe in, I imagine.
Speaking of engineers, Ensign, who did you bring with you?
The ensign name, or sorry, not the ensign. Yeah, the ensign name engineer that you said before.
Oh,
I
Mathalos,
apologize.
Yeah, okay.
Mathalos, yeah. And then also probably a small of the lower security, a couple of those. Red shirts. Now yellow shirts. No, still red.
Still red. Okay. Jalda Mathalos, can you meet us on deck 5, subsection 14, please? If he heard that.
Oh, he's dead.
Mathalos is dead. No.
Yes, Captain, I can do that.
Alright. Thank you.
So Mathos makes his way down to engineering.
He does.
Washburn, you're still trying to get the shuttle bay up and...
Yes.
I'm going to ask you for a... I'll give you either way, control or daring engineering.
Oh, both the same, so yes.
Aren't you glad I told you what I told you when you made him?
See? Alright. I have that. Let's see, hand phasers, helm operations, small craft, navigation, astronomy, navigation, or astronavigation, sorry. And then one left. Power.
I would put. I mean, he doesn't have the focus, but like EPS, if he wants to add that as his last focus, would that work?
Is he short one?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what? Sure.
Like power, EPS power?
Yep, EPS power systems.
Then yes, I have a focus I would like to use.
No kidding. I'm not allowing it. No, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. And
Yeah, because I think
two.
you grabbed the NPC sheet and started making the adjustments.
And hopefully the difficulty is low to make some or gain some memento for folks. Momentum.
It's 2.
We'll see. It's 2? Okay, let's see.
Yep.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Let's see. Spin a determination. Let's see. It says for curiosity, I can fly anything. Voice of the crew and ships in strange new worlds. Yes, they still don't fit this. Unless you think so.
I mean, I would put ships in strange new worlds on there as a stretch, but it's a ship on a strange new world.
That is true. Didn't think of it that way.
That's only if he lets you. Anyway.
Well, that is a value.
Okay, that's the one you're firing. I will.
And so cool. And so what does that give me? 2 crits then to then
No,
make that
you
3
can-
total, or what do I do now?
Re-roll.
since it's half-
You can re-roll the 0.
Reroll the 0. Okay. So switch it to 1 and then just reroll again?
Yep.
Okay.
Nope.
Alrighty then. It wasn't meant today. And so I will hit my comm badge and be like,
Stand by.
Oh, sorry.
As you're working along, you get it powered on, and it doesn't turn on right away. And between you and the other guys who are with you, you kind of briefly ask each other, I didn't miss anything, right? No, that goes, because it's very dummy proof. Put the red wire into the red plug, yellow wire into the yellow plug. It's not hard, right?
Yeah.
You check again, and then it explodes.
Oh shit. Not explodes us die, just explodes like we all look at each other like that could have been horrible.
It explodes like this is gonna hurt.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Makira asked that I didn't kill Wash. Sorry.
No, you're good.
You get blasted, and your whole body feels like it's on fire for a brief second, and then it goes away, but you're still, like, the heat, the fire snuffs away, but your skin and parts of your suit is compromised as you take 3 stress worth.
Yeah.
Stress.
You got secondary burns.
I fill up on my face and see if there's still eyebrows. I see
Probably
that
not.
one's missing. Yeah.
You feel little bumps where your eyebrow is.
Right. And then I hit my comp badge and say, it didn't work down here, sirs.
What? What were you trying to do, Ensign?
There was an extra energy power reserve down here, like you would find in the spare over here, and it was just attaching it to get the cargo bay working. It apparently had a short, and me and the couple of the engineering team here with me are okay. Singed a little here or there, but we're okay. But nothing to, I don't think, where we got to run or need medical for. But just informing you, yeah, it didn't work.
Okay.
No power down here, at least yet, until you guys work on engineering.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold that thought. We're gonna try and get into main engineering. And you'll hear in the background, Mathalos, what do you think about that obstruction in the door? And then the comm cut out because she stopped broadcasting.
Ensign, I will ask you for a fitness plus security. Difficulty 2. You don't feel very...
Fitness plus security. 2. Don't know. And...
Don't throw up.
I'm throwing up. I go over to help one of the other engineering teams, and then just whatever I just ate is all over his face.
Yeah, you feel... Yeah, you got it on the nose. You're sicking up. You feel intensely sick. And it's hard. Like, your left leg feels like it's incredibly weak, but your right leg feels incredibly strong. And you kind of drop to your knees for a second to be willing.
Oh no.
And you notice the other 2 people who are with you fall over, just unresponsive.
I want to move in the direction of the strength. And hope.
Basically, you're favoring your right leg.
Yeah, like if I'm in a wave of something that's horrible, I wanna try to go in the direction of the wave of where I'm getting the strength and the better leg from, and hopefully get my body out. You know what I mean?
As you're moving around, you feel like you're you don't feel like anything's improving. You just feel it's as if parts of your body don't work the same way anymore. Like you feel real sore in your left leg, but you feel really strong in your left arm and your right leg. But your right arm feels like it has been cut or burned or something. Your left eye feels itchy. It's hard to tell what's going on.
I try to hit my comm badge and say there's something wrong. Time weird. and then trying to escape. The other two are down, but gonna check them first, and then that's it for a second.
Lieutenant Commander and Johnson, you are not here. Only base camp's hearing this.
Yep.
Ensign Wash, please come in.
I'll hit my comm badge again. I'm here. Just, it's weird. One side of my body is weak, the other side is like strong, so I'm having to rebalance everything. Yeah.
Can I make an insight medicine check based on the symptoms he's giving?
Certainly can. Difficulty 2, comp 1.
Focus in xenobiology or genetics or emergency medicine?
I will give you xenobiology.
Okay, and you're getting 1 threat for an extra dice.
Thank you.
Doctors always roll well in games sometimes.
Yeah, the symptoms you're getting, radar are they sound like they're out of your textbook. An odd variant because it's coming from the patient, not a doctor. But yeah, you know it.
So it's the Cronton radiation sickness?
Indeed, it is.
Ensign Washburn, please move to a safer location. You're suffering from Cronton radiation sickness.
Should I check the other two or just leave?
Any higher, more exposure you could end up like them. I would advise you to move away right away. That is an order.
And that's what I do. Yes, ma'am. Or yes, doctor. Yeah, I would say yes, doctor. And
that will be a fitness security task roll 2, complication 3.
Don't bring a hip.
No. Okay, there it is. You said fitness security. Got that. Okay. And
We have momentum. Use it for a third dice.
oh, we do. Yes, please. That would be wonderful. Thank you. And here's the roll.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, does that mean there's one complication because that 1 0 is red?
Yep.
Indeed.
Correct.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can that be bought with a threat, or is that the same? No, that's the same thing. Kind of the same thing, isn't it?
There's talents that let you get rid of stuff like that. I don't think you have any that can get you out of this.
Yeah.
You can spend the 2 momentum to get rid of it, or you can give the GM 2 threat.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
Okay. I would ask you guys that I don't want to die. So, and plus I just got to the game.
Go for it.
Can I spend those 2 not to die? Thank you.
Yes, yeah, no. For real, if ever you're going to die, please feel free to spend momentum to not die.
To not die. So, yes. And then...
You start...
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, thank you.
As you start clawing your way, everything, parts of you hurt like hell, and parts of you feel the best day of your life. But you concentrate on moving forward. It's hard to think of where to go other than outside. You can head outside. That's definitely away from whatever the ship's doing, but you can take your chances and crawl deeper into the ship.
No, I think I need to worry about my safety first because I can't worry about anybody else's until I know mine's okay. So I am gonna head outside and get my bearings first.
You haul yourself up the ladder, and you're able to kind of painfully you don't pull yourself completely clean. You kind of go halfway out and kind of have to roll the rest of the way. And you're now, you still feel like crap, but you don't feel like it's getting worse. But yeah, that wasn't the most pleasant. That was the most unpleasant crawl you've ever done. And you went to Starfleet Academy, so.
Right, and so I will crawl even just a little bit more further, and then then do that whole movie flap on my back, looking up in the air, and then just kind of like with that expression, but then hit my comms and be like, I'm out of this ship, 100 meters out of it, but I hurt. And then just that's all the doctor will hear.
Ensign Froze, you're in charge of base camp until I return. Ensign Owen, you're with me. And getting into EVA suit and making the trek towards the ship. Because there's
Has Garrick's returned to base camp by that time?
He has, yep.
Okay, so he's probably going with you guys too.
Lieutenant Grex, please accompany us.
Absolutely, ma'am.
Meanwhile,
back at the Legion of Doom.
two of you crawl it through a Jeffries tube. That's Jolson and the Lieutenant Commander, I believe, Jol.
Yep.
And you open up one of the hatches. You're getting ready to take the nice little ladder climb down into engineering. You get down to one of those little closet areas where there's like access paneling and some tools here or there.
Mm-hmm.
You turn toward main engineering. You head for the door. Right, it won't open, so you get the little thing to manually sucker it open.
Yep.
And say hello once more to a big yellow cube with a door in it.
All right.
Well, I guess we're going through the mysterious door.
Jolson, if you could, can you please go back and see about Matheson? Or Mathalos, please.
You want me to leave you here by yourself?
Mathil starts crawling in at this point.
Okay. Well then, at least back up a little bit.
Backing up.
And yeah, and I am going to attempt to open the door.
In what way?
Well, I assume my manual sucker thing's not gonna work. Although I will try that first.
I will tell you that you should roll, I will say, daring engineering difficulty 2. It's obvious that this door isn't optimized for this to happen. Like, it's not attaching clean, but if you fiddle with the device enough, you might be able to force it to work.
Okay, we don't have any momentum, do we?
No, we spent it to get rid of a complication.
Fine. I'm going to spend my value hesitation is as bad as an action for the auto success.
I won't fight you on that.
And yeah, and everything get to where it needs to be. And I clicked it, so give it just a bit. If it doesn't go in like 30 seconds, I'll click it again. We may end up with 2 rolls. 4 successes. I don't know why it rolled 3.
Okay.
But
because you're cheating. That's fine. No. That is, if I remember correctly, that is 2 momentum.
Yep.
I'm full of crap.
Nope.
Yeah, it's 2.
Yeah, you said difficulty 2 to open it.
You sucker it open, and when you open it, You see, imagine a Starfleet shuttle bay sort of console setup. So very cozy, let's say. In reality, cramped. But like there's lots of consoles where you can get at stuff. And you can see there's a door going straight on to your left, and by your bearings in your head, that would lead back out the door that you came in on. And then there's another door leading to your right, and there seems to be a hatchway directly above you. And this room, your Eva suits are warning you that you're in a high heat area.
But they're holding.
They're holding, yeah. You wouldn't want the heat to go any higher.
What's the current ambient temperature?
It is a number. Hold on.
A very high number.
About 310 Kelvin.
Ouch. All right. Yeah, we're in a volcano. Let's do this. Yeah. Actually, that's hotter than a volcano. So let's have fun.
Wait, I thought room. No, that's about like fire level, because room temperature is like 270. So.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Cool.
So, really hot sauna.
But
Okay.
that number's is interesting, and that looks familiar to the temperature, or I was reading from those long-range spatial anomalies back in the Cersio, or the other ship.
Sappho. Yeah.
Sappho.
Sappho or what? Yeah. Anyway. The ship that was doomed.
We probably shouldn't linger. I think there's spending too long here could risk heat stroke.
Our suits should protect us for a little bit.
Let's.
We're gonna have.
We're gonna
have
need
to get
information. Anyway.
scans. Yeah.
We're gonna need information anyway, so pucker
Alright.
up.
Yep, and I enter the room and start looking at consoles, trying
You are
to make
looking-
heads or tails.
You are looking at Starfleet. I mean, the color's all wrong. The palette's weird because everything's colored in a strange way. But that's a Federation console. It uses LCARs, a variant of it,
Huh.
and it is powered.
I'm gonna try and access logs of the ship.
Access denied. Please enter security clearance code.
Who has a 512-bit password cracker?
Question. And you can tell me no.
Okay.
Can I have spin 2 momentum and have like a memory stick from Moore that has a one-time password crack? Like given as a gift for graduating Starfleet?
Sure.
Yeah.
That moment when the ship just takes over, you take over back.
Pretty much, yeah.
So with that 2 momentum, you have a way to access into it. You can use daring security or daring engineering to try to force the machine to into a diagnostic cycle, and then you can basically splice in and go nope, because the password thing is getting you there, but it feels like there's other things. But you basically have wedged your way in the door, so now you have enough access you can start messing with it.
I'm gonna use daring security, and I'm gonna give you a threat for 3rd dice. Okay. Well, I clicked 1. That should be clicked to 3. And now we have to wait because I clicked the button. We don't want a second one. I'm going to re-roll that complication. wait. If it wants to roll. Come on. I apologize.
It's okay. I believe.
You can. I blame myself. Son of a...
I'll take that first one. Yeah, oh, there's the
Yes.
one. Oh wait, that's
Yeah.
the delay from the second time.
Yeah. Yeah, there it goes. So, yeah, just take the one, I guess. Because my computer's all messed up. I hate this thing. I'm sorry, guys.
As you're splicing in, meanwhile,
I won't
we
this
come
time.
upon 100 meters outside of the Victoria, with the doctor and team approaching a not too happy ensign who is fit as a fiddle on his right arm and old as a man. Old as a man.
Old as Picard.
That's awesome.
Feels bad there.
That whole time I've been wait since that whole side is working perfectly. I have a little some type of like white the little flag, and I've just been waving it the whole time. Just
I'm over here. Don't forget me.
I'm here. Yeah.
Every so often the flag goes down and there's half a snow angel.
Right.
She's gonna pull out her tricorder and take some readings on his condition.
Medicine plus reason. Difficulty 2.
Oh, I'll help with that. Ow.
Xenobiology is a focus.
I'll give it to you.
You get 1 threat for an extra dice. Rerolling that 0.
You banked
That is
one
true.
momentum there.
That is Trace.
In effect, he seems to be suffering from the syndrome, but it seems to be stage 1. Basically acute exposure. If you can get him to a sick bay, you could do it in the wild, but with a sick, if you get them to a sick bay quickly, you could reverse the effects. If you do it out in the field, there's a risk that you will be able to halt it, but not be able to reverse it. So he's not in the injured status condition yet, but he wouldn't want to be blasted with chronotons again.
Ensign, where were you exposed at on the ship?
In the cargo bay, Doctor.
Shuttle bay.
Or shuttle bay,
Shuttle.
Doctor.
He's delirious. He doesn't know.
I was down on that lower deck that nobody wants to go. No, okay. I was in the shuttle bay. We were attaching a power supply, power supply that we'd found in there to get the shuttle bay working, to get a shuttle going and possibly get out. But it exploded, and right after that, I made a call to everybody, let it know it didn't work, and we were about to move on to other things when a field I wouldn't say it like that. I would just say suddenly one side went weak, the other side went healthy, and the other two that were with me went down. And that's when you had mentioned to leave them behind, and then that's when I kind of stopped talking.
Doctor, we should probably try getting him to sick bay. I might be able to get us some power there if I'm lucky.
I was just about to ask you that. Hopefully it's safe enough that we can get there in time, if the sick bay is usable.
All right,
I think you
Chap,
can
let's
walk
get you-
Ensign.
Part of me I'll give the look like, the chronoton stuff, and then I'll look at the ship and then look back at the doctor. But then because that's the doctor, I'll shrug it off and start going.
I'll just sling one of your arms over one of my shoulders and say, "Come on, let's get you moving." I rolled no such complication.
I mean, I could spend the threat.
I'll give him a hypo to sort of help alleviate some of the symptoms. Like
Yeah.
a minor pain reliever for arthritis.
Acute arthritis.
I like that.
I'm actually willing to
Full
give you.
of ibuprofen.
I'm willing to give you a
Vicodin hypospray.
reason plus medicine difficulty 2 to try to alleviate the pain in a holistic sense. That way he's a lot more lucid and able to move around. It doesn't treat it, but it's not treating the actual problem, the disease. It's treating the symptom. But it'll be a thing that will act as an advantage if you manage to pull it off.
You say an insight medicine? Organ.
Reason medicine or insight medicine.
Get another threat. Emergency medicine in this case? Or focus?
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Rerolling one of the zeros.
Oh, that's sweet, sweet momentum.
Yes.
Pansies. Threat's the way to do it. I say that, and Altair is the only one I've freely given threat to.
Yes. Ensign, you feel, well, I mean, you still feel sore and oddly warm in places, but at least you don't feel like you're dying in different parts of your body.
Oddly warm in places. Yes. I won't tell anybody about that, though. I'll keep that to myself.
I
have the
appreciate
warm
that.
fuzzies. Yeah.
She chuckles a little bit. She's empathic.
I probably still wouldn't have paid attention yet. That'll be one of those moments that I would know that, but just it wouldn't even. Yeah, I wouldn't even. Yeah.
It's a wash moment.
I'm gonna ask the medical team, as it were, to do a con plus reason to find your way to the sick bay without wasting too much time. I'll make it difficulty 1 because there's nothing really that's in the way. It's just more you're trying not to get turned around.
My con is a 1.
My con's
I mean-
a 3. My con's a 3, and my reason's 10. So.
You know those old ships.
I think Wash got this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wash, go ahead. I'll assist if I can.
Let's see. Something engineering.
Reason plus con.
Reason plus con. Okay.
Yes, Mr. Pilot Man.
Oh, that's terrible for me. I only have 8.
Oh,
Yeah, 7
be
in
alright.
one and 1 in the other.
Okay, well, that's my target number is a 13. What's yours?
That's what I was saying, an 8.
Oh, okay. I'll
no,
go ahead
it's
and
13. His is a 13.
be-
You're both rolling 13.
yeah, because you're adding your con to your reason.
Ah, did not know that. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the number he gave you was the 13. So add the 2 numbers and what are you rolling against?
I see.
I was confused too.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
In my head, I was thinking, I apologize too, because on my side also, I was thinking reason command, not reason con. So, I apologize.
That's okay.
Okay, so, first, can I give a threat to get that extra die?
You
We have
can.
3 momentum.
Oh, I keep
Yeah.
getting my damn character in front of that. Yeah, so sorry. So I'll spend a momentum instead of a threat then. Thank you. Sorry about that.
It's safer that way for you.
Way to be helpful.
And then Let's see. Hand phasers, helm, operations, small craft, navigation, astronavigation, and EPS. Now, does a small craft in this sense only be shuttles, or is this a small craft?
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
shuttles.
I tried. Okay, good. Then there we go.
Would navigation work?
Navigation would work.
Ooh, okay, thank you. I will click yes. That's even better.
Because your internal GPS.
Yes, thank you. And I'll click that thing. Boom. 2.
That's not bad.
Nothing on the assist, unfortunately.
You're able to make your way to sickbay. It is again, it's empty, and although it does look like someone was like there were some projects that were in the middle of stuff, like the doctors here were doing something, and then they take like stuff off the burners, as it were. They don't leave it on the Bunsen burner equivalent. They take it off, but they put it aside as if they expect it to come back. But it does look like someone just got up and walked away from the med bay. But it's fully stocked. It's just no power. You're basically only seeing by the light of your helmets.
Oh, this is certainly odd. Let me see if I can get some power back in here.
Please do, Lieutenant.
Yeah, I'd give that
Ensign?
that look like, yeah, not me, because the last one blew up.
Ensign, can you get on the biobed for me, please? And
Yes.
take off your EVA suit.
Oh, there's air in here. I'm sorry, Jamie's asking that question. I never heard that. There's
Yeah,
air and everything.
There's an atmosphere. We're on a Class M planet. It's just really cold.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So then on that, then I won't give a strange look before I take it off. Then never mind. I take everything off.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Lieutenant, you're trying to get power on, right?
Except
Indeed
for
I
my
am.
Star uniform, that stays on.
But yes, we are definitely trying to get power back. At least to sick bay.
Now you can, as before, you can. This was the ensign last time. You can spend 2 momentum, or you can spend. You can roll reason science difficulty 2 to get a emergency power pack that's probably stored somewhere here in medbay. Because most quarters like this would have one just tucked away somewhere for such an eventuality.
And spending 2 momentum just to have it?
It's just a habit, no roll.
Okay, I'll spend the 2 momentum on that then.
Agreed.
Don't let it blow up in your face.
So you dig around and you find it. It seems fine. All the wires are there. I mean, it's a system 10 years from before, but Federation's Federation, and it's for this ship, so it's...
All right, let's see if we can power this on.
I while I'm sitting on the bio bed, I say, hold on, just for my, or if I may ask, could you take a tricorder and just check over that power supply? Just make sure before you connect it. Like I said, mine blew up in my face.
Reasonable precaution, I suppose. Okay, I'll just look over, scan it, make sure there's nothing out of spec with it.
There is some minor wear from the intense cold, but these things are designed to withstand that sort of thing. If you had a proper supply chain, you'd replace it just out of sheer Federation regulation, but it'll work. There's nothing wrong with it.
Seems within spec, a little worse for wear, but it should be perfectly serviceable for our purposes. Let's see about plugging this lovely little piece of equipment in.
I look over and I say, I thank you. I just didn't want it to have the same problem as we did.
I appreciate your concern, Ensign. Alright, so let's go about plugging that bad boy in.
Control or daring engineering. Difficulty 2.
Alright, I'm
And
gonna
the
go ahead and
doctor-
give...
Go ahead.
Alright, I'm gonna give you a threat to get a third die on that. And I have a focus in EPS power system, which I assume applies.
You're right to assume that.
EPS power systems focus is an engineer's best friend.
finally a good roll.
Holy crap. He did the engineering.
Yes.
He did the thing.
So,
I
with
was
that
gonna
battery pack, you power the entire ship, warp core's back on.
The planet.
You power the entire planet ecosystem.
I would be okay with just getting the 3 momentum from that.
That is true.
Meanwhile, in engineering, you're able to get access to the systems of the ship, and you get the feeling that if you hadn't had that password hack in, this would have taken you weeks of just crunching at it, because the encryption on this is far tougher than anything you've seen in a starship in all your years of service.
Yeah, she just looks at the stick and goes, "Thank you, Grandpa," and just starts going at it.
Do you think this is some sort of experimental tech? I know Centaur classes essays over the past couple decades have been used for testbed.
It's very possible, although, I mean, you could deduce from the chronoton energy in a weird shape of this engineering bay that maybe it was some kind of temporal drive of some kind.
Please state your query.
Computer, what was the mission of this ship? I don't know if it was vocal or if I have to type it. She does both.
This ship was designed to be a technical testbed for the new engine system. It was system designate warp block and/or cool engine. There is also a dedication file. Play.
Yes.
Another voice comes on, and it sounds deeper voice than mine. You can sort of hear noise of what sounds like work. Like you can hear like cutters and plasma, and you can hear guys kind of talking back there. Like someone recorded this in a workroom or in an engineering bay in work.
Probably this engineering bay.
Be it understood that this ship was built for one purpose: to overcome any possibility of defeat, no matter the pressure, the speed needed, or the tactics required. This ship is no ship of war, conquest, or mass destruction, but it is a platform for which the rest of the fleet would spring ahead of any rival. Every decade, a new threat to the Federation emerges. From within or without, every decade, a new phenomena, civilization, creature emerges that requires more of us than we can manage. For too long, the Federation has just been a half step, if not full strides behind others. We got used to defeat, got used to being second best, and we resigned ourselves to mediocrity and ignorant bliss. As this ship takes its first voyage into the stars, know this. Aboard this ship, in the words of her namesake, we are not interested in the possibilities of defeat. End dedication.
Joel looks back at Jolson. I like that guy.
Fascinating.
Let's see what the running parameters of this engine were.
Warning, warning.
Okay.
Power tap in section sick bay. Activating security measure. In 5. 4,
Deactivate security measure.
3.
Deactivate security message. Yeah. No, my brain was like, what is the word? What is the word? What is the word? Sorry.
That's fine.
That was me as a player just completely blanking on what that word was.
Suggest security action. Orders?
Stand down.
Hail sick bay.
In the sick bay, you hear a dee. Main engineering to sick bay. Please respond. And this is as you're
Hello?
plugging in the battery pack.
Hey guys.
Doctor?
We're in it.
Oh, good. You're all right.
We're assuming that's you guys down there.
Yes, Ensign Washburn has been injured. He has acute chronophone radiation sickness.
Acute.
We got a
Did the-
notification you were trying to plug in a power supply.
Yep, we got sickbay up and running. Thankfully for the young ensign, he should be back to the actual young ensign in short order. I assume. What's going on in engineering down there?
Oh, you would love it, Lieutenant. And she just looks around. Computer, open doors to main engineering.
We just got pinged.
Yeah, we did.
Warning. Warning. Energy signature in orbit. Deactivating engine in 5, 4, 3.
Stop countdown.
Stopped.
Garrix, get down to main engineering immediately, please. Computer,
Uh-huh.
open doors to main engineering.
Warning. Heat system not purged. If the doors open...
Purge heat system, then open the doors.
Those within that block, please give me a fitness plus security check, please. Difficulty 3.
Yep. I'm giving you a threat.
Don't worry, you're just getting me back up to 1.
Yep, that's fine.
I'm gonna take a threat as well.
And as soon as my computer decides it wants to catch up with me. Give it a bit, it's coming. Why is it only rolling? Son of a... Here's the other 2. When they show up. There we go. I got 2. Actually, you re-roll that 0.
Did it say something was in the atmosphere?
Yep, energy signature detected.
Not an
Sorry, I was
atmosphere, orbit.
re-rolling that 0.
But I mean, yeah, thank you.
So only one of those. I hate my computer tonight. It's being a bitch.
As you guys are standing there, and you hear a whirring of what's, it feels like the room's moving and shifting. And then the computer continually says, don't move, don't move, don't move, over and over on every screen. And as this room shifts, there's no heat. It goes down to like ambient temperature, like there's no heat in here at all. And then you notice that Jal feels a little dizzy for a second, but Jolson feels intensely sick, starts throwing up, and collapses to the floor. And you are unfortunately injured unless you have a determination to keep yourself from doing.
Not that I can see, so...
You would have started with 1 determination if you haven't spent it yet.
I think he spent it somewhere along the way.
I have not spent a determination yet,
Ooh.
but I don't have any
Spend it.
value.
You don't need one to do that for this.
Okay, I'll just spend it.
You kind of flutter your eyes open, and you feel like hell all over.
Oh,
You alright, Lieutenant?
Engine system purged. Opening main engineer. You hear a sound below you to the right.
last time I got purged like that was my junior year at the academy.
Yeah, go to sick bay and see the doctor.
I'm not
And
leaving you alone down here.
It's fine, Mathalos is right at the door.
All right.
Go see about yourself, Lieutenant. That's an order. And I will go and... Yeah, I'll go towards the sound that I heard. Because curiosity and cats, you know.
Well, you find that when... so, Jolson tries to go out the front. When you look to the way that would lead out to out of main engineering, the door doesn't open on your end. All you heard was a sound below you to the right. So none of your doors opened.
Well, I will go to the thing on the underneath us on the right.
Right.
As you start moving back, basically the way you came, because it kind of, you're essentially ending up backtracking. The door slides open for you automatically, and you're looking at another chamber, like the one you're in, with different panels. You notice that in this room there seems to be a floor hatch, a door in front of you, a ceiling hatch, door to your left, door to your right.
I have a feeling we're going to be... Computer, is there a path to get out of main engineering?
From current position, go down hatch. From hatch, go to exit door that is currently open. Would you like light?
Yes, actually. And
you see flashing lights light up around the edge of the hatch below.
All right,
Alright.
guess I'm crawling.
Be careful, and and when you see Garrix, just point him up this direction. And she goes back to the computer and starts trying to get main power back on for the rest of the ship.
We're gonna have a scene change. The momentum goes down one, and we're gonna cut back to medbay. In the medbay, as our good Lieutenant Lieutenant Garrix, my mistake, starts plugging it in. You start getting it going, and then all the power lights up before you turn on the battery.
Well, that was unexpected. So the battery is completely not connected right now, right?
It's connected, but you didn't flip the switch to turn it on. You were reaching over to turn it on, and then the lights kicked on around you.
Well, it looks like we have power, Doctor.
Excellent. And she maneuvers one of the consoles, kind of like make sure it lights up and everything.
Yeah, it lights up.
And she prepares to... So, to treat the chronoton radiation, what do I need to roll? To start
It will be...
the problem.
It will be a... Well, there's two ways you can go about it. You can you can turn on the little isolation unit on the biobed. And this is the safe way to do it. Basically, it creates a little force field around him, and it can start purging the chronotons away from him. He's kind of stuck in there though while this happens. But that would be control medicine difficulty 2. Actually, sorry, you're in med bay, so it'd be difficulty 1. If you try, you can do it a lot faster, where you can mix a concoction together and inject him in it. He'll sick up, or he'll have to use the bathroom in a hurry. Refresher, I should say. That would be daring medicine. that would get it done pretty much right away, but it would suck. And the difficulty that would normally be 3, but since you're in a med bay, you can kind of help him with the complications that would arise. I take that back. It would normally be difficulty 2, complication 2. Instead, it's only complication 2, difficulty 1. So difference between control or daring medicine, and one of them has a complication attached to it.
And even though I'm a patient, since I have control in daring medicine, is there a way for me to be able to help?
You can, but if you help, it would be control medicine complication 2. Just because you're the patient, and it can you can be somewhat biased, and yeah, that hurts too much. It's supposed to hurt.
Let's go with the daring medicine rule. I'm gonna give you. You know what? Let's go with I'm gonna spend my determination. Always something to learn, or precision and diligence are a doctor's primary tools.
I'll give you the second one.
Okay. And I'll give you 2 threats to roll a 3rd dice. And does emergency or xenobiology, emergency medicine count in this instance?
I will say Xeno.
That is 6 successes. That's 7. So I'm gonna use 2 of the momentum to help negate the side effects that he experienced.
Fair enough.
He started
Thank you.
feeling nauseous. Shot of Finnegan.
Right? She's like, not in my sick bay.
As you get the shot, the ensign has this moment of, you're kind of told, no, just hold your breath, it'll be fine. Hold your breath, it'll be fine. And you're like, it feels uncomfortable, like really uncomfortable. You really, really want to do something with your throat that involves nastiness, but eventually it passes, and you're fine.
Thank you, Doctor.
Well, if the young ensign is doing better, I should probably make my way towards engineering. Any chance there's anything here that offers wide spectrum protection, just in case there's more chronotons running back?
Can I make a concoction to help shield the effects in the body from the chronoton radiation?
I will say daring medicine, difficulty 2, complication.
Is it complication 2?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm half doing that for my own benefit.
Xenobiology?
Yeah.
Or take a threat. I'm gonna roll 3rd die. You said difficulty 2.
We also have momentum.
I have bold medicine, thank you kindly.
Yeah, the doctor has bold medicine like I have bold security.
Okay. We're a very bold crew.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that quick.
there's no reason to assist.
No, there really isn't.
Right? So I'm like, yeah, this is awesome.
So I have 3 floating because we're already at max. I want to spend. I want to end up losing 1, but can I spend the 2 to create an advantage that I can create enough concoction that the effects will last for quite a long time? Like, to negate the effects for quite a long time?
Sounds good to me.
Yep, that works for me.
Alright. Thank you, Doctor. I'll be making my way to engineering. Keep the comms open if you need anything up here.
Will do.
Yay. You get the bonus of
And she's
walking through a
going-
fully lit ship.
It's a good thing.
Go ahead. Sorry.
In the meantime, she's just gonna start making enough to synthesize to start. She inject herself, the ensign. It makes enough for everyone who's on the ship currently, which she's aware of.
Very good. Around this point, our poor Lieutenant Jolson starts dragging himself in.
Oh, Lieutenant
I'll
Jolson,
help him. Yeah, I'll help him onto the bio bed since I'm now able to get off of it.
Ow.
you look dreadful. What happened?
Engine did a heat purge, and it feels like it purged on top of me.
Heat purge?
She takes out her tricorder and immediately does a scan.
Reason plus medicine. Difficulty 2.
Wait, heat purge? Don't you mean like a power thing exploded on you?
No, it was controlled.
Comp 1.
I guess the best way to explain it was
Comp
an
1.
exhaust. It was an exhaust blowout kind of thing.
Take a threat. Rerolling a 0.
Keeping the 0.
It appears that he is suffering from chronoton radiation. Sorry, organ displacement syndrome. You know the syndrome. Get my names wrong.
I immediately make another concoction that I made earlier and jab it into him.
My good lieutenant, I would ask you to roll for me the one that's being shot in the arm with a hypospray. That would be fitness security difficulty. Sorry, 1.
W for Jolson.
Correct.
Sorry, what was that? I was
Fitness security did not vomit all over sickbay.
Oh, fun.
Can we just spend 2 momentum to negate those side effects?
You certainly
So you know
can.
how to treat that? Yeah.
She doesn't want
No,
to
that's
think
sick,
about
man.
it.
No, again. no, again.
You see him starting to huck up, and you remind him, just hold it in, and eventually, same thing for you, Jolson. It's, oh, God, and then, hey, it went away.
I know how bad it was, so there's a part of me that feels like there's like that one little hair where I wanted to puke, but I didn't. So I do grab like a quick like garbage can just in case. It's like, and I'm like, okay, good. Put it back down.
Okay, once it's clear the doctor has the situation handled, Garrix is just going to make his way towards engineering.
Doc, what's the prognosis?
Chronoton radiation poisoning. You'll be fine. Give it a few moments. It'll pass. She just kind of smiles.
Quiet.
Yep.
With
With Washburn and
Jolson.
Jolson. They're in sickbay too.
are they intending to stay there? Was my next question.
If I have clearance from the doc, I would like to go to the bridge and see if I can get computer systems back online.
I assume that's where
One moment.
Washburn would go too.
Yeah, because I'm not sure about the whole
shuttle bay thing anymore?
Shuttle bay thing anymore, yeah. If it's got a whole radiate... Well, hold on. The concoction should make me safe from that, right? If I get my understanding.
I believe so. Did you give him the...
I have
The
to give them both
anti-radiation.
the concoction. I have to give them both the concoction.
I'm
stuff.
assuming we're all getting inoculated right now.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then at that moment, I would just, like I said, if that's all done, I would request, not assume, but I would request from my commanders and everybody to go back to the shuttle bay and work on that again in case we have a problem with maneuvering the ship. We still have another option, kind of like keeping plan B open, etc., in case A doesn't work.
So do I need to make a roll to create more of the serum?
You're good. You've got the formula down.
And you have power and a replicator.
Yeah.
And momentum.
You have the
Oh,
pattern.
okay.
That's
So-
the
We've already spoken.
So they're talking, and Washburn's like curled over a trash can just in case. She just kind of gives him a hypo, and then gives the other one a hypo. It's like, you're good to go.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. And I head off.
And at this point, I shall reveal the Victoria to you.
Hooray. We won.
Well,
Wait, we won in a role-playing game? A tear.
I know, right?
Don't celebrate yet. We're not off the planet.
That is true.
Not dead yet. No, really, I'm feeling better.
Well, the
She
bonus
turned
is
me
you
into a
guys,
mute.
right?
What? It got better.
The bonus is you guys had like 15 minutes of like starting to fall in love with the ship before, and then boom. Me, I just came in right at like everybody getting escape pods. I was like, okay.
And all we really saw was the mess hall. So
I saw a couple of extra decks because, you know, Jaw's a crazy woman. And surprisingly strong for a little cat-like Japanese-looking woman. So,
DMH would have been nice for some help.
yeah. We'll add that to the list. How about that? Later. But I don't know what we're gonna get rid of because I like all of this.
You can add a talent when we get arc.
Yeah, when we get an arc, we'll add an EMH for you. Seeing as nobody's gonna do it for me on the Sarek.
I'm joking, by the way.
I know.
oh, there we are. You have completed the first episode as you have now gotten control of the Victoria, and none of you died, amazingly, much to my attempt.